Hey everybody, Smiles here with Gamer Smiles. I am so excited to be back. We got some online Pokemon Sword and Shield battles coming up, and I'm really excited. It's been a while. I actually haven't played in quite some time. All of April, for the most part, I took off from playing Pokemon. I actually didn't make Master Rank either in singles or doubles, but you know what? It was a nice break. I appreciate getting the chance to just relax and focus on myself and do what I wanted to do. And so it was nice. We've been playing some new Pokemon Snap, which has been really fun. I've been playing some other games, counted up a lot of different projects and work and trying out new things and graphic design and all that good stuff. So really excited to get back in here and play some more Sword and Shield online. But first and foremost, y'all know the drill. We got to get our little intro video. Let's go. So I will see you guys in a moment as we kick off our intro video. Alright, take it easy, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Gaming with Smiles. I am so excited. We are back, going to play more Pokemon Online battles with Sword and Shield. By the way, Nightbot will mention it soon as we get more people in the chat. But this music is brought to you by Rukunetsu. Rukunetsu is an amazing remixer on YouTube. I've actually been listening to him for over 10 years now. It's crazy. Man, time flies. But amazing guy, awesome. He also has a YouTube channel, a Twitch channel as well. I'm just going to go ahead and throw his name in the chat, but definitely recommend checking him out. Alright, but before we go online, you know, we've had this outfit for quite some time. We got to make it look more fresh, you know what I'm saying? So I got all the accessories here, and we're going to change it up a little bit. So, the sport tops, okay, they're a little bit too much for me. But let's see what shirt we can get. Ooh, a loose top might... You know, a loose top... We could do a loose top suit. I've done that before. I don't know. Chat, let me know if you guys are feeling any outfits. We could try, like, blue and orange accents. That's like the... If you guys know the University, UTSA, the Roadrunners. I went there for a year, and then I went to UT, University of Texas. So we could do that. The striped top is pretty cool. I like the orange striped top. I think that one looks nice. 3/5 polo, I've done that before. I think I have orange 3/5. Yeah, that's okay. Ooh, we could try a purple. Ooh, a gray type tone. Okay, I'm digging it. Yeah, we basically just spent a lot of money on stuff. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. I have done the maroon. I have done the, maroon. Ooh, I'm kind of feeling the maroon again. We might do that. That nasty plot, Dynamax band. We got the Pokeball shirts. Some other casualties. I believe that's Grimmsnarl. I'm trying to think, what would be fun? Ooh, Vestentire Ensemble. We could go we can try orange. I kind of like the Ooh, the turtleneck would be kind of dope with the jacket. We could try that. Okay, let's see about the jackets. So I got a couple of parkas. I don't want the parkas. There's the punk vest. That's okay. Suit jacket. Ooh. Ooh, we could do red, white. Ooh, I like that. Red, white, and blue. It'll be a different look. Ooh, black also. Ooh, black. I'm kind of digging it. I had navy already. Gray would be kind of cool. You know what? I'll try the black jacket. Let's see what kind of pants do I want. Dress pants. We could try like black dress pants. Ooh, that's a commanding look. I think that might be the move. Black and red. We could do white and red. That would also be pretty cool. I'm kind of a fan of that actually. And I think instead of the red marine shirt, we can try a more fancy. This is important. If you guys are wondering why we're dedicating time to this, the first part of Pokemon battling is you have to outswag your opponent. Like, they have to be intimidated. That's a little bit too much. I think I want a darker red, for sure. Let's see, faded stretcher, that's like a pink. Ooh, what? Oh, black and pink. Okay, that would actually be kind of sick. Oh, that's dope. Okay, we're doing that. Black and pink. Ooh. It's like Goku black. The series could also be like pinkish. I'm gonna do ooh. The luxury loafers. Ooh, this looks so cool. I can go the Leopard Aladdin. Nah, I think the luxury loafers are the move. Oh jeez. Okay, maybe. I don't know. Jeez. Okay, I'm trying to think. Maroon with white. Okay, we can try that. Let's try that. Maroon with white. I promise we'll get into the battle lane soon, but this is very important. I should have done this before this too. Ooh, that looks like the Michael Jackson Thriller. Oh, the Smooth Criminal. Okay, we're doing that. It's the white and red. We could go for full white shoes. Let me look. Ooh, that's kind of sick. I like the white and black. I feel like it kind of resets the white so it's not like in your face. Yeah, I like that. The socks are fine. Backpack is fine. What about the gloves? Man, I don't even have to wear gloves. I can just be gloveless. I could do that. The original style's okay. You've been struck by a smooth criminal. Woo! Oh my goodness, this is so dope. What about black? I think that was a little bit too out there. I'm gonna do Pikachu kit, the flying one. That's just a single glove. Not really a fan of the single gloves. See, with dual gloves with without the thumb, that would be dope. Like, I think that would look sick, right? As a fire, yeah, the fire type actually would be pretty dope. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling no gloves. I don't think we need gloves. Yeah, no gloves. Well, maybe. Okay, I'm trying to think. Nah, that's a little bit too... Okay, I know I'm taking a long time. I'm really sorry, but this is very important. Tan, we can do gray. Maybe what's this in red? Yeah, that's not good. If they had maroon, that would be dope. Okay, I'll go with gloves, no gloves. Okay, I'm overthinking it. Do I want any glasses? No. Nah, let's too try hard. I can try a cap, but I don't know what cap it. And that's the ash cap. No. I was never really a fan of the caps, honestly. I like just the hairs. Dope. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that work. Don't update the lead card. Alright. The most important part of the fight is over. We got the outfit. Look at this. Look how styling we are. Bop! She's just looking at us. She looked away immediately as soon as I turned around. I was like, nope, I am not making eye contact with you. Alright, we're going to hop in here and get into some battles. I'm really excited. We're going to hop in some doubles. And let's see what's up. So, kind of to break down the team, you guys might be familiar with this team whenever I did play a little, mainly in March and February, but a little bit in April too. You might have saw a couple of things when I played. This team is pretty straightforward. It borrows the Zacian team. Pretty much every member is the same, except instead of Zacian, it is Landorus. I was also thinking about Rillaboom as well, but I feel like this would be fun with Landorus. I also need to rebuild the Mandibuzz team because you can't use Palkia anymore in this format. But I do like Ditto still. Ditto would be really fun. I could turn this in, I could basically combine these two teams where the Mandibuzz team is like a Sun-based team, and it helps to kind of support in that regard. You can also use Indeedee. Tapu Fini would appreciate the speed boost, and I don't have to use Focus Stat. I don't have to use Choice Scarf. I can use Choice. I can use like Life Orb. I could also borrow some elements from the King Dragon or singles team. I definitely want to. I need to take away Necrozma, Dustmane, and I can easily change that out with pretty much anything. Like Tapu Fini would work. I could use Gmax Lapras, things like that. But yeah, I think that I have some ideas for the Mandibuzz team, so we can try it out later. But for now, we'll go ahead and stick out with this team and see what happens here. I'm really excited. Hope you guys are too. First battle of the evening. Let's go. So trying this out last night, I got 7 wins and 2 losses, which honestly wasn't that bad. I think the wins actually was a 5-game win streak, and I was feeling it. You know what I'm saying? All right, so it does look like we're going straight for Sun. With Torkoal, Venusaur, Charizard, Urshifu, Thundurus, and Clefairy. I'm not as worried about this because I can delay my sending out of the Sand later. I can delay my sending out of the Sand later, and I can use Zapdos' Max Airstream against Venusaur. Also, Landorus could be the one to use Max Airstream, and so that also kind of makes the opponent double guess here. Yeah, Landorus also doesn't mind dealing with Thundurus because Thundurus can't like Thunder Wave or anything. The one thing I do need to be mindful of, though, is that I don't want to just naturally lead out with Landorus and then have the Thundurus come in right immediately there, because Defiant could activate, thus putting me in a tougher spot. Landorus actually can deal with Thundurus well outside of that, and besides giving you the +1, it can deal with it well. Corsola in the end is a little bit tricky. I do like Indeedee better, actually. Yeah, I kind of like Indeedee better. So, we're going to bring in Zapdos. Yeah, I'm going to go risk it. I'm going to bring in Zapdos, Landorus, Tyranitar, and Indeedee, and let's see what happens here. The opponent might call this out, and I might have to deal with the +1 Thundurus. But if I find a way to deal with it early, I think we can make this work. And also, if it's a Thundurus, that means the Venusaur probably isn't going to Dynamax, and I can use that to my advantage as well. Alright, so it does look like we're going to be running into this. Urshifu and Thundurus are ready to play, and I brought in Landorus and Zapdos. So, kind of a tricky thing here. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I activate the Intimidate. Thundurus isn't going to be Prankster, it's going to use Defiant, so that goes off. Defiant, yeah, okay, +1. Sure. Okay. So, I guess the trickiness here boils down to... Yeah, I feel like what I want to do is I could hit the Urshifu with Thunderbolt. I can hit the Urshifu with Hurricane naturally. And then I kind of want to do Max Rock Slide, Max Rockfall on the Thundurus. I guess my problem here is, what would you switch to? Yeah, well there is no safe switch-ins for a Max Rockfall. Yeah, you can switch into Clefairy or something. So yeah, I figured as much that Thundurus would want to take advantage of that. And Dynamax, but I could take advantage of this, and if I hit the Hurricane on the Urshifu, oh man, the rumble, you can feel the rumble from the controller. Thundurus Dynamax is here, but I'm going to try to match it, and hopefully we're going to do some big damage and try to get this bad boy out. I knew that it was a risk bringing in the Landorus so early on, but I felt it was worth it. Yeah, I would say it was worth it, honestly. The opponent most likely will probably do max airstream. If I was the opponent, I might try to max airstream the Landorus. But we actually, yeah, max airstream the Landorus. I take it decently well. I think the challenge here is that if the Urshifu doubles up into that slot, I am going to be in trouble. So we are going to get the double up. Oh, jeez, that was not pretty. A crit on top of that, that's not fun. And so I unfortunately lose, well, yeah, the Rocket blowed out. I unfortunately lose that Landorus pretty early on, and I lose my Dynamax, so not looking too great for our first turn here. We get a fire off the Hurricane, which is nice. Oh, I just get the knockout. Okay, not the best turn, I will say. But hopefully we can turn things around. Maybe we can figure something out to make it easier to deal with the opponent in the long run. If the opponent brings in Venusaur, okay. Cool, so the opponent has to make a choice here. Do I keep in Venusaur? Yeah, I might. If I was my opponent, I think I would feel... They probably don't know I'm focused as Choice Scarf yet. Excuse me, Choice Scarf yet. So I feel like I want a Heat Wave, and I do want to get off this Rock Slide. Losing the Dynamax that early, though, is going to put me in a backpedal here. Yeah, and the fact that I underspeed is just disgustingly terrible. The Thundurus ran away with this game. I don't think I don't have a way to deal with it well. Corsola couldn't with the, this is a great first match on stream. Yo, what is up, Infinite? How you doing? Great to see ya. I am currently losing terribly. I got a burn! Oh, wait, okay, maybe we can come back from this. Venusaur fires off the Weather Ball. Ooh, that's actually going to be pretty strong. Because it is the sand. But thanks to your boost there, I get to activate my own weakness policy. So, oh, I'm so sorry, Infinite. I hope that you are feeling better. And hopefully the stream will be a nice way to kind of chill and relax as you deal with that leg pain. But wishing the best for you, buddy. I hope everything goes well. But yeah, okay. So, okay, this is going to be interesting. Because Indeedee can help Zapdos get some... We can move... I'll have home again meeting in the morning. Oof. Sounds like a busy day on your end, Infinite, but wishing the best for you, buddy. Let's channel some good vibes up in here as we get into this fight. So, we get the Indeedee activating the Psychic Seed. But unfortunately, this is going to be a tough match. Yeah, I don't know. The Venusaur is going to be slower, per se. But Thundurus outspeeds the Zapdos, right? And I don't think I'm going to knock it out right now. So I am going to try to use one more Heat Wave. And I'm going to follow me. Because the idea behind this is... Okay, they both stay in. And so the idea behind this is I can take at least one hit from a burnt Thundurus, right? Okay, so max airstream, that's actually not great. I took that okay. Venusaur is gonna... Yeah, I think I lost this one. I tried my best to bring it back, but honestly, this Heat Wave is not... Okay, the Sludge Bomb comes out, it's not... Oh, I survived, so I get poisoned. Okay, well, I got the burn, so I mean, I feel like that's fair. I get a fire off the Heat Wave. It's enough to knock out Venusaur, but yeah, Thundurus is just way too oppressive as a force right now. I have to deal with the Sandstorm damage. Indeedee's gonna get buffeted by the Sandstorm and Poison. I think I get knocked out. Yeah, it's game over. And honestly, I threw it away at that first match. I threw it away at a friend of mine's birthday. I got him a gift. I threw it away at that first turn. It was terrible, but man, Infinite, we're both having bad luck here. First off, I'm getting thrashed in Pokemon. You have leg pain and a meet in the morning. We gotta get some good vibes up in here. Let's get some good vibes up in here. Man, this is tough. This is so hard. I don't know what I'm gonna do here because I threw this away. I really did. Okay, I'm trying to be. Brought in Tyranitar. If I brought in Tyranitar and I used Zapdos instead. With the max airstream, I could have brought some things back, and I think that would have been the move there. But yeah, at this point, this is disgusting. Thundurus outspeeds me. You're just getting a free knockout. I'll just give it to you. Good job. But I just was not great against opposing Thundurus. And it's just one of those things you have to respect Defiant Thundurus. So, good job from my opponent. I think he did everything right. I played sloppily. What is up? The Sports and Music Man. Nice to thank you for the follow, by the way. I appreciate it. I'll take a moment to follow my crew. Yeah, I'll give you, let's see if I can follow you. I'm using OBS, by the way, to hang out with y'all. So I don't know if I can follow immediately, but I can follow right after the chat. But nice to have you. Infinite, hang on. What did, my chat is not showing you. Oh, you keep on opening raids. But yeah, no, if you want to play some raids later today, if we want to take a break from some battling, I'm game to play some raids as well, and I'd be more than happy to help compete with y'all. But yeah, first match was terrible, but you know what? I did not respect the Thundurus as much as I should have. And I think if I did, we would have been in a lot better spot. Things like Will-O-Wisp could have helped out. I wouldn't have done Strength Snap, but you know, Thundurus is definitely a great Pokemon with Defiant, but it is one of those, yeah, I should have been better at prepped for it. Thundurus is usually used a lot more than Zapdos because of the physical, it basically plays like Zapdos except on the physical side, and it's a great Dynamax Pokemon. Yeah, I should have been better mindful of Thundurus. I think Lightning Rod Pokemon also work really well against it, especially if it's like an electric Lightning Rod. Technically, Rhyperior would be really good. But anyways. Alright, so we got another match here. We got the Urshifu, we got the Dragapult, we have the Colossal. We have the Rillaboom, Glastrier, and... ooh, that's really cool. You got an Anorith raid. Let me know how it goes. If it's shiny, you gotta let us know in the chat. So this team is really interesting. It has a couple of modes of a speed control. The first mode is Trick Room, as you can see with the... both the Bronzong and the Glastrier. We got the Colossal Speed, and the Colossal Speed can activate in one of two ways. It could be either the Urshifu outspeeds with the Aqua Jet, or it could be Dragapult activating with Surf. I do have a way to kind of deal with that, and I usually use Dragovish Tyranitar as the lead, and they just rush in. Hey, what's up, Apollo? Appreciate the lurk. Great to have you in the stream. How you doing, by the way? Feel free to, we'll jump in. We have to catch up. Yeah. Enjoy dinner. I appreciate the lurk, my friend. Hopefully we can get some wins by the time you get back. Okay, I'm taking way too long. Corsola is going to be helpful. I like Landorus, kind of. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the move. So I'm going to go with Tyranitar, Dragovish, Corsola, Landorus. And depending on what my opponent brings, I'll adjust. I feel like this team is... I'm definitely very Urshifu weak. That's okay. Oh, are you talking about the Wishing Piece? There's actually an easier way that you can rotate through your raids without using Wishing Pieces, but we'll talk about that later. So we got first the Rillaboom and Urshifu. So man, what a perfect lead against Tyranitar Dragovish. We are not thinking properly here. Because Urshifu immediately threatens Tyranitar, so does Rillaboom threatens Tyranitar. So it makes it a lot harder to deal with them, kind of like this. But I feel like we can manipulate the board a little bit. The opponent doesn't have any... Well, no, because even if I Dynamax, the problem here is that... yeah, I agree. I don't want to Dynamax. I think what I want to do is I'm going to bring in Corsola to kind of be more defensive. And I think I'm going to go try out a Psychic Feint on Urshifu just to get... Yeah, I'm going to try a Psychic Feint on Urshifu just to get some damage off. I will have to risk taking a knockoff later. I think Zapdos would have been a great Pokemon at this moment. We get the Fake Out, so not too worried about that. I unfortunately can't do anything. And we do get the Surging Strikes onto now the Corsola slot. So, okay, we're taking them okay. Can we get a Curse Body up in here? We got the Curse Body, thank you. Thank you. That's going to make things a little bit more breathable for me, I think. And we can then use that opportunity to Strength Snap or Rillaboom, make it easier to deal with in the long run. And I feel kind of confident even going after the Urshifu slot with the Vicious Ren. So I might actually do that if the Rillaboom is thinking, hey, I need to deal with this Corsola in the long run. It might try to use Knockoff. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use Strength Snap, and then... Because, yeah, you could close combat the Dragovish. Anything else you switch in is just going to take a monstrous amount of damage. So I'm going to try that. Okay, so Urshifu actually detects, which is fine. Rillaboom is focused on taking on the Dragovish. I missed with the Fishious Rend, and I get the Fire off the Strength stab. So that's going to be nice. I get some healing back. All that HP that I lost, it's back. And so now actually this gives us a little bit more breathing room. The opponent probably doesn't want... Okay, so we know... Okay, so we got a couple of things that just happened, right? We saw that Urshifu... Yo, what's up, Defton? How you doing? Great to have you on the stream today. We're playing some Pokemon Sword and Shield. I don't know if we're going to actually do well today. But we're going to try. We're going to try. Okay, so we've been able to adjust the board interesting enough, right? So, here's the thing. The Rillaboom is at -1. The Urshifu has Surging Strikes disabled. And it can only use Close Combat. Now, Close Combat can be helpful against Dragovish. It might be able to knock him out. But that means that Urshifu probably... Alright, Rillaboom doesn't want to stay in. If Rillaboom decides to switch out, then I can get a free hit here. I can also... I feel like I'm going to Will-O-Wisp the Urshifu slot, and I'm going to... Oof, this is a tough call, but... I'm trying to cover as many plays as I can. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to Will-O-Wisp the Urshifu slot. I'm going to Fishious Rend the Rillaboom slot. If Rillaboom switches out, Urshifu switched out. Dang it! And for Colossal at Bronzong. Okay. Not the end of the world. Rillaboom goes for another Grassy Glide. I'll be able to survive it. I won't be doing too much damage with this Fishious Rend, unfortunately. But I will fire off this Will-O-Wisp. And I feel like that will help me deal with Bronzong in the long run. So, okay. Okay, we can still make this work. It's just going to be a weird game to play. Bronzong being burnt might help me deal with, whatchamacallit, Gyro Balls better. I'm trying to think. I think the opponent has a little bit more... Okay, so we got the burn. I think I want to burn the Rillaboom next. So I'm going to use Will-O-Wisp on the Rillaboom. And I haven't revealed that I had Protect yet. So. Alright, the opponent seems pretty quick about clicking in those buttons. So, awesome. Thank goodness. The Rillaboom is very focused on these Grassy Glides. Something tells me the Rillaboom is actually like choice. I feel like that's the thing. And so now, hopefully, we can use that to our advantage. Okay, Hypnosis fires off, and it goes into the Corsola slot. Oof. Oh, man, I got one guaranteed turn of sleep. That's not going to be pretty. But we're going to have to try to get some damage off here. Corsola is going to be taking some damage thanks to the Sandstorm, but, I mean, we're all healing up, too. So, hopefully, with the burn and with the -1 attack, I could be able to help just deal with whatever comes in. Now, I don't think Rillaboom wants to stay in, so I'm hopeful I can use that to my advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and use Nightshade on the Rillaboom slot, and I'm going to Fishious Rend the Rillaboom slot. I feel like Tyranitar can deal with Bronzong. Okay, Rillaboom still stays in. Very confident he can make some, change things up. So I get a fire off the Fishious Rend. It doesn't do too much here. Corsola's still asleep. And we're going to get a Hypnosis. Misses on the Dragovish. Okay, and Sandstorm's over. And that means Grassy Terrain also is over. I get one more turn of Grassy Terrain healing. Okay, this is really tricky. This is so tricky. Okay, Grassy Terrain is over. Terrain is over. Dragovish should naturally outspeed, but I don't want to risk. So I'm going to go ahead and Nightshade the Rillaboom slot, and I'm going to just protect the Dragovish slot. I gotta wake up this turn. I'm trying to think, what other Pokemon would you bring out? But, okay, Rillaboom is withdrawing. So Urshifu comes back into the fray. I'll protect myself against any Okay. Okay. So Body Press is going to come out. It seems like the opponent does have Colossal. I could probably knock it out with Landorus, but what I want to do here is... Okay. This is most likely Corsola will wake up. But I'm going to go ahead and withdraw Corsola, and I'm going to go Fissure Surround on the Bronzong slot. I'm probably going to lose Dragovish this turn, but I'm hopeful that I can at least knock out Bronzong. So this gives me that speed boost, and then maybe I can come back in and trade out for Corsola next turn. Urshifu detects, thank goodness. I like that play, and I actually get to fire off this Fissure Surround. That's a lot of damage. Unfortunate, I don't get the knockout right then and there. That is going to be a little bit problematic dealing with... and the burn, not enough for the knockout, unfortunately. Okay. This is tough. This is really tough. Okay, if I was my opponent, what would I do? I'd probably try to body press the Tyranitar. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's the case. I'm just going to go ahead and switch back into Corsola. I'm going to try to protect with Dragovish. Yeah, this is such a tough one. This is really hard. I was able to do a lot of damage to the Bronzong, which is nice. So I can turn off the potential Trick Room mode. If the opponent did not bring in Colossal, I think we're going to be in a lot better spot. Bronzong switches out, trying to preserve itself, so it probably is Trick Room. Rillaboom comes out, okay. Okay. But the burn is going to be helpful. I can use the burn to my advantage. Right. So, Rillaboom brings in the Grassy Train again. Dragovish is unfortunately fast asleep. Most likely, it's the Urshifu going for that close combat. Oh, thank goodness. That was such a great switch. Oh, I'm so happy. You guys have no idea how happy I am. Okay. Oh, that was so scary. Oh, goodness. Woo! That was a good switch. Okay. We have not lost any Pokemon, but really, it's... Dragovish is taking a lot of damage. I've been able to spread a lot of damage across the board. Yeah, so Defton, the Rillaboom is Grookey's evolution, and actually one of my favorites to use. I am a huge fan of Rillaboom. I think I'm going to try to protect one more time with Dragovish, try to give it an extra turn. Dragovish is still fast asleep, that's okay. Rillaboom goes with the Surging Strikes. Probably he's going to go after Corsola. I also noticed that Urshifu didn't go, so Rillaboom didn't go, so most likely we're going to see the knockoff here. They're focused firing on that Corsola. No disables. We are going to see the knockoff. Most likely... Ooh, that's going to... Oh, that doesn't do too much. I lose the Eviolite, unfortunately. I wake up! I get the Straight Sap! Take this, you dang monkey! Yes! Okay. Woo! We got some breathing room. And all that HP is back. Everyone's taking damage thanks to the Sandstorm, but really... whittling down the Rillaboom is going to be nice, but... Man, I'm just trying to find the opportune moment to get Landorus in. Because then Landorus can Dynamax, Max Airstream, Max Airstream, Max Airstream. And just really go to town on all these Pokemon. Okay, Corsola gets his HP back. Rillaboom is taking that burn. And also Landorus is Assault Vest, making it a little bit easier to deal with against... against the Colossal potential. Okay, Urshifu is going to withdraw, which is totally fine here. We're going to get Bronzong, so Bronzong's actually going to get knocked out. But I could see what the opponent was trying to do. Potentially protect itself against a burn. Rillaboom's not Focus Sash. Not Choice Band, I thought it was. Okay, well, that just wastes a turn for the Corsola, but it doesn't do... It doesn't move the dice. It doesn't move things forward. Dragovish is still surviving, which is insane, even through the sleep. But because that Bronzong is getting knocked out here, I've cut down sleep. Sleep is gone. So Bronzong's knocked out. we're making progress here. We're moving forward. Whew, this is scary. This is so scary. The burn on Rillaboom though is so nice. I have to say, the burn is so nice. Yeah, here's where my trouble starts though, because yeah, I don't know. The opponent could. Okay, so Urshifu's back. Okay. So I need to check out a couple things. So, Sandstorm ends next turn. Grassy Terrain ends 2 turns from now. Rillaboom's burn. Urshifu has to deal with that. So, I feel like in this case what I want to do is use Will-O-Wisp on the... I kind of want to actually... I don't know. I feel like Strength Snap on the Urshifu, maybe? And then I think I can try Psychic Fangs on it, too. If Urshifu double detects, yeah, I figured as much. So a little bit unfortunate here, but the nice thing is that Rillaboom actually... Okay, he doesn't knock out Dragovish yet. Dang it. Actually would have been helpful. Okay, Sandstorm's over, but everyone's going to be taking damage. Well, Rillaboom's going to be taking damage thanks to the burn. Urshifu gets back to full HP, preserving the Focus Sash. Dragovish, I feel like Dragovish has done its job, honestly. And if I counter, I think that's the thing. The opponent has it Colossal in the back. And so if I focus fire on the Urshifu, I can try to knock it out before Colossal does anything. Right? And then that makes it easier for Landorus to clean up endgame. Okay, so Rillaboom goes for the Grassy Glide. Should be enough to knock out, so this is Landorus' time to come back in. Urshifu goes for Surging Strikes. I won't have the Eviolite boosting me anymore, but I should be able to survive. I should survive these. Okay. Do I get a Cursed Body Disable? Please, let me get a Cursed Body Disable. No Cursed Body Disable, but I do get a fire up the Will-O-Wisp. I miss with the Will-O-Wisp. That hurts. You don't know how much that hurts. Most likely, Urshifu is going to protect itself. The grass disappears. It had Detect, so it doesn't have Choice Scarf. That's a little harder. It's a really hard one. I didn't get the Disable. Okay. Okay, so Urshifu can do one of two things. If I was Urshifu, what would I do? If I protected, I could scout out a potential max airstream. I could try to hit in the Rillaboom slot, which would allow me to capitalize on knocking out the Colossal. I feel like I want to do that. So it's a big assumption here, but I'm going to focus on the potential Colossal spot. I'm going to focus with Max Rockfall. Because combined with the Urshifu and the Rillaboom, I should be able to knock... combined with the Urshifu's Aqua Jet, I could potentially knock out. So he does not decide to switch out, which will be interesting. This is going to be tough. This really is going to be tough. But if it protects this turn, then I do get an advantage here, because then I can do max airstream, and then hopefully just slow things down enough. So we're gonna get the Surging Strikes. Unfortunately, outspeeds. That's not good. That's not good. Oh man, that's a lot of damage here. All those crits. Yeah. Fire off the Max Rockfall. That's Rillaboom gone, which is nice. And I do get a fire off the Strength Staff, which means that Urshifu is stuck with its lower attack. But the critical hits outright override that. Urshifu naturally outspeeding is not great, though. Okay, Glastrier is the end Pokemon. Dang it. Okay. Glastrier and Corsola can... Corsola actually has a great matchup against Glastrier, so I feel like I'm confident with this, medicine to battle ends. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna try. I feel like I'm losing Landorus right here. Like, there's no if and or buts about that. But man, this is so tough. Okay, Glastrier Dynamax is probably going to use it's going to knock me out. I mean, it's fine. Landorus was going to get knocked out anyways. If Urshifu focuses on Corsola, then we win. Because there's no way Glastrier can't knock out everything on my team. And I can survive. I can do this. So let's see. Nope, he focuses onto the Landorus spot here. That's enough to get the knockout here. Landorus is just gone, unfortunately. The -1 might be helpful against the Corsola in the long run. Landorus faints. I get a fire off the Will-O-Wisp. Thank goodness. Ah, jeez. Yeah, the timer is not working for us, and we're going to have to deal with a Max Hailstorm. Luckily, though, the nice thing here is that... okay. So, the opponent still doesn't know that I'm Choice Scarfed. So, we can use this to our advantage. Okay. We gotta knock out the Urshifu, like, right now. I can't use Rock Slide because that could potentially proc a weakness policy. And it's not even that effective against Urshifu to begin with. So I'm going to go ahead and use Strength Sap on the Urshifu slot. And I'm going to try to use... The strongest non-stab move I have is Superpower. So I'm going to fire off... Yeah, no, I do need to be healthy. So I am going to Strength Sap it. Yeah, I'm going to Strength Sap the Urshifu slot. And I am going to Superpower the Urshifu as well. Yeah, we could lose. Okay, so we get to fire off the Superpower, which is nice. It's not even close. Urshifu's just going to knock it out. It's ridiculous. Urshifu goes to a close combat. It'll be plenty. And I will get to use the Strength Sap, but, I mean, at the end of the day, I got 30 seconds. If I had more time, if I didn't have Battle Timer, I could have won this. Because Urshifu has no way to recover, neither does Glastrier, and I just keep on whittling down with burns, right? But, yep, that's game. Ah, this was such a hard one. I think the problem was neither myself nor the opponent made moves, and Dragovish actually not being knocked out early was problematic. If what would have happened, what would have won is if Dragovish got knocked out earlier, and I just decided, you know what, I max Airstreamed with Landorus. I just wasn't confident that he was going to stay in. But I might have just overread my opponent. I should have just gone for the max Airstream. That would have been knocked out the Urshifu. Been a huge threat off the board. And then, you know, Rillaboom versus the rest of them wouldn't have been as big of a deal. We'll go ahead and use Strength Sap, but it really doesn't matter. They just end the turn, and because I only have one Pokemon left, I can't win. But unfortunate there. That was a good fight. Yeah, I think that turn where I over-assumed the Urshifu was going to not stay, like, was going to protect or something, I should have just gone for the max Airstream. That would have been it, and that would have been the tide that I needed to turn that battle around. We'll continue battling, but yeah. It was a tough battle. It was good. It was a good fight. But you know what? Sometimes we gotta lose. And that's 2 losses already on stream, guys. I'm bummed. I don't want losses on the stream. I want to win. We got to do it for Infinite. Infinite's been having some pain from foot pain, and he got a test. He got a meeting and got homework the next day. We got to do it for Infinite. For Infinite. Let's get some hype in the chat for Infinite. Infinite. Also, my boy Defton. Defton. And Apollo. And thanks to the Sports and Music Man for following. Okay. Alright, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. We can make this work. Man, I was telling you, this team was fire yesterday. I was feeling it. I was so confident. Now we ain't making it work. Alright. So, alright, I feel okay with this. So we got Landers, we got Incineroar, so double Intimidate here. We have Tapu Fini, we have Cresselia, Moltres, and Metagross. So this team has a lot of interesting dynamics. A lot of things I gotta play around with. Moltres is not fun. And he's got a lot of Pokemon that helps cover Moltres well. I don't mind Landorus as well. I just don't like it against the opposing Landorus and Thundurus. I'm sorry, the opposing Landorus and Incineroar. Zapdos can do really well. I imagine the opponent's ready for Zapdos. So I think what I want to do here is I'm going to bring in Corsola to help deal with the Metagross. I need to find a way to deal with Moltres so really well. And I think between Zapdos, Tyranitar, and Landorus, all three can do it. Cresselia, I'm not really thinking too well about it. I could use, Dracovish. I just feel like, despite the fact that it gets super effective coverage and it does a lot of damage to Incineroar and, Landorus through the Intimidates, it's a lot harder to play. Okay, so we'll go Zapdos, Landorus. Uh-oh, I gotta choose quick. Okay. Alright, wish me luck. Shatu Kunetsu, you see his name on the chat. He's an awesome guy. Check out his stuff. Great stuff. Okay. Oh, man, this is so tough. Why? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think Corsola is going to help out against the Metagross matchup, but we'll figure out the rest. The opponent could potentially proc their own weakness policy using Brutal Swing. Okay, Moltres and Incineroar are coming out, so not the worst. I think what Moltres wants to do here... Okay, so Incineroar is going to use its own... Could use Fake Out. I get my own Intimidate first. Doesn't really matter on Moltres. Helps deal with the Incineroar. Incineroar fires back with its own Intimidate. Lowers Zapdos' attack, and so does it lower Landorus' attack. The problem here is Landorus is a little bit faster. So, well, actually, not as fast as Moltres. Moltres would attack first, and then Landorus would switch out. So, we could use that to advantage. I think what I want to do here is... Okay. The only Pokemon you could switch into a Max Airstream is Metagross, and I have tested this out before, and I actually do a decent amount of damage through that. So I'm going to go ahead and use Max Airstream. I'm going to use U-Turn on the Incineroar spot, just to chip it more damage here. Moltres actually withdraws, which is really nice. I'm okay with that. And the opposing Landorus comes out. So this actually is not too bad. What this means is that, yeah, he was trying to predict me going for a Max Lightning. I ain't that easy. I ain't going to do that. I ain't that silly. Come on now. I see what you got, right? I got to think about what you could switch into. I ain't going to just throw up Max Lightning for the sake of it. I kind of like the speed anyways. If Incineroar goes for Fake Out, that means I don't have to worry about Parting Shot for one turn. And that can actually be very helpful. So we're going to go for this Max Airstream here. Yeah, it was an Elf Ball, which is kind of cool. So we go for the Max Airstream. No Fake Outs firing off. Does a lot of damage, which is nice. We get the speed boost here. I am glad I didn't Dynamax my Landorus. And we get a fire off this U-turn here. Most likely we're going to see a Parting Shot from the Incineroar, let's be real. So I'll bring in Tyranitar now, and then we can always bring back in my Incineroar. Oh, my Landorus, I'm so sorry. They're both cats. Intimidating cats, that's what it is. Cats the Musical. There you go. We're going to make a joke about this. Like Landorus and... okay, so just use a Snarl. Alright. Not like the end of the world here. Everyone's taking damage thanks to the Sandstorm. And you just activate the berry on top of that. That's not fun. Alright, Incineroar gets the Aguav Berry update heal, which is not great. I'm going to fire off another Max Airstream. I'm going to go for Rock Slide on both of them. I wouldn't be surprised to see Landorus Dynamax here. Yeah, okay. curious. If Landorus goes for max Rockfall, that would mean that Landorus would be... Landorus goes for max Rockfall. What this would mean is that Zapdos would get the weakness policy boost, and so I get a +1 in my special attack. And plus with the max airstreams, I should be outspeeding, which actually would be pretty helpful. Okay, so we get a fire off this max airstream. It's going to be enough, maybe not enough to knock out, but I think with the Rock Slide, I should be able to get this knockout here. So, good for the speed rise. That's helpful. I get the Rock Slide. That's enough to knock out Incineroar. That's one threat gone. Thank goodness, Incineroar's out of there. And we're going to get a max Rockfall into the Zapdos slot. Okay, I should be able to survive one. Take a decent amount of damage, but because of that, weakness policy activates. I get +1 in my special attack. Right? That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. Okay. Woo! Big question here. How do we do this? Tapu Fini is sent out. Now, here's the thing. Tapu Fini and Moltres are very weak against electric attacks, so you don't really have a safe switch in here with those two. I could put in my own lane. I think I'm going to do that. I could max guard, but yeah, I feel like I'm going to max lightning, and then I'm going to bring in my own Landorus to help slow down the opposing Landorus, and that might be enough to help deal with it in the long run. So Tyranitar is going to go back into the Pokeball. I'm going to bring my own Landorus. Intimidate lowers the opposing Landorus, just in case the opponent wants to go target it. Fini might go for Protect. Yeah, I figured as much. But this +1 electric attack should do a decent amount of damage, I'm feeling. We're going to fire off this Max Lightning. And then I think Tyranitar v Moltres, Tyranitar can do a good job. So, cool. So it does a lot. I probably am going to get knocked out by this Max. I'm going to be real. Probably the Max Rockfall will be enough to knock me out, even at -1. Yeah, it's enough. Okay. Alright, so the problem here is that Landorus most likely is going to try to go for like a max airstream to get the drop off on speed. But now I can put in Corsola and get the Will-O-Wisp, try to slow it down here. Okay, so I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp on the Landorus slot. And I think I'm going to go for a Rock Slide of my own on both. Hey, no worries at all, Infinite. I really appreciate you hanging out. Hope your leg feels better, and wishing you the best on both your homework and your meeting tomorrow. Much love. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in the stream. You're awesome. Also, can't wait to see you on Daxman's stream. Yo, the Kingdom Hearts games are going to be fun. So yeah, Landorus actually naturally outspeeds, goes for that max airstream into the Corsola slot. I take that, okay. I take that well. I'm happy with that. So that is going to do a decent amount of damage. The speed is what the problem is here. Fini goes for Calm Mind. So here's another problem. Fini got 3 boosts going on. Special defense, special attack, and speed. But Calm Mind isn't as worrisome. It's the special attack I'm kind of worried here. I'm going to fire off this Rock Slide. Not enough to knock out Fini, unfortunately. We do get the Will-O-Wisp, which is nice. We like to see it. So Landorus is burnt. And hopefully we can use this opportunity to just deal with Fini in the long run. I am also Assault Vest, and I'm hopeful that Assault Vest might be enough to just deal with it. If Landorus switches out too, that actually wouldn't be that bad. I'm going to go Strength Sap it, and then I'm going to fire off a... I would like to use Rock Slide, but honestly I can't. Yeah, I would like to use Earthquake, but I don't want to hurt my own Corsola in the long run. So Landorus uses U-Turn. It doesn't do anything. That means that Moltres I'll use the Strength Sap on, which actually makes it easier to deal with later. Fini probably is going to either go for the attack or do something else. That means they also lose a speed boost here, which I'm not too worried about. Fini goes for Moonblast. Is it going on to the Landorus slot? Okay. Take that decently well. I get a fire off the Rock Slide. Does a lot of damage to Moltres. Moltres activates Berserk. And Fini has a Pinch Berry too. Come on, everyone and their mother has a Pinch Berry. The Wiki Berry does get to heal up some HP, and we have to deal with this Stern Snap. Dang, okay. Sandstorm's over, so that's kind of unfortunate. The extra chip damage was helpful. I have to worry about Moltres' Fiery Wrath. I just have to eat it. But I'm hopeful that the double up here will be enough. If I can knock out Fini, I think we're going to be in a good spot. Fini uses that Moonblast. It is going to outspeed. It is going to be enough to knock out Landorus. That means... critical hit. Come on, man. And that means Moltres gets to fire off this Fiery Wrath for free. That's just going to do way too much, especially with a +1. I just get knocked out. I mean, come on. I disable it, but come on. Against Moltres? I needed that disable on... my last Pokemon is literally Tyranitar. It doesn't care. So I get a bring in Tyranitar, but the problem here is that the opponent just gets to bring in their Landorus for free, essentially. I get the special defense boost from the Sandstream, but really it's that bringing back that Intimidate is just going to be so problematic. And I'm just stuck here using these Rock Slides, so... Man, I am not... 3 battles and 3 losses, essentially, what we're looking at, man. I'm so bummed. I wanted this to be a fun stream for us, where we're going to be winning and having a great time, and here we are losing. It's not fun. It's never fun. Yeah, I mean, really, I think that a lot of people are like, oh, we should open up and have every Pokemon back from the Naxxrail decks, and I agree to a certain extent, but honestly, you get metagames like this. They're just Pokemon that are just... Oh, come on! A miss? Give me a break. Can I at least get a flinch on the Tapu Fini? Come on, man. What? And then you just get to fire off a free Air Slash. Come on. Come on. Don't do that to me. That was so dirty. Man, I could have crawled back, maybe. A flinch there, a knockout there, and then kept on Rock Sliding and maybe getting some flinches. But, I mean, I played to my outs, what can you say? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, Moltres is just really great. Yeah, I'm curious. Please don't. Okay. It seems like... Okay, so you did catch the Moltres yourself. Whatever. I don't care. Okay, you know what? Positive attitude. Let's take a break, and let's think about this, right? We dropped a rank. Damn it. But don't worry, guys. We just got to think about this, right? There's a lot of different pieces that are moving together. Fini is so good. There's just too much good stuff you can't prep for. It makes it hard to play unique things, honestly. Anyways, that's just me getting mad about the main Pokemon meta. When it works for you, though, you never complain. You know, that's the truth. That is the truth. But we'll figure it out. I feel like Fini is such a... it's such a good Pokemon. It's such a nice, like, I can just stand there, Calm Mind. It's very threatening. And that's the thing, too. Like, a lot of those... Like, it doesn't have any 4x weaknesses, which makes it really nice. Rillaboom's a great answer to it, but of course I didn't have Rillaboom. And I think that's the thing, too, of, like, a lot of these Pokemon only have one Pokemon that answers it in the entire metagame. Like, technically Kartana can, too. But Kartana has a lot of debilitating things that makes it harder to play with, right? And so, I think that's what also opens it up. A lot of these good stuff Pokemon really only have just 1 or 2 big weaknesses. And if your opponent doesn't carry them, or you're able to deal with them really well, it doesn't matter. Like, Moltres, for instance, like, dunks on Rillaboom. Max Airstream, Air Slashes, like, it eats it alive. And so, it would be harder, like, Fini could protect, right? Rillaboom crashes the grassy glide into it, and then Moltres just eats it for breakfast, right? So, and then once you get rid of that, then the rest of the team falls to Calm Mind Tapu Fini. You know, a trainer couldn't be found. Okay, I think this is the game. We're gonna try one more time, and I think this is the game's way of telling us we need to calm down, and maybe we can try out a new team. I like the team. I think what it does really well is it deals well with physical hitters. But like I said, I think Fini really puts a pincer into the strategy. Regieleki actually would be pretty good. Electro Web can deal with both. I think the problem is Moltres itself usually carries weakness policy, and so that can be problematic. But if you see teams like with Metagross, for instance, and it probably doesn't, And Regieleki, just the fact that it's on your team, can help discourage Moltres play. I did see, I mean, the Landorus does come in, but I think we did a good job at the beginning, and we did not pick up the momentum we needed. I think if I preserved that Zapdos, I agree. I was too greedy there. If I preserved this Zapdos and did the max guard, then the next turn I could have done a Thunderbolt, and that would have been enough to either threaten Tapu Fini greatly or threaten Moltres coming in. And that should have been the play. That absolutely should have been the play. I was too greedy. Too greedy. I should have played that thoroughly. And I thought, oh yeah, I could technically max guard. But no, I should have done it, and then Zapdos would have made much more headway. And then Moltres v Tyranitar, easy. Or Tapu Fini v Corsola, easy. But that was dumb on my end. So the opponent won because okay, now I feel better. I can see the path to victory more clearly, and I even remember the thought process that incorrectly got me there. So, all right, hopefully we get a battle. If not, then I think we'll take a break, do some max raids, kind of chill for a moment. Yeah, wait, they can. That's twice. That's weird. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we got a fancy new outfit. Let's go do some max raids, and let's give it a shot. Yeah, yeah, it really is that. I could actually, you know what? Now that I think about it. Basically, the same team, but instead of the Dragovish Tyranitar, change the core to Torkoal Venusaur. That would be interesting. It means that I would lose all my physical attackers. But it would make Intimidate, like, a non-issue, actually. That might be a pretty fun way to play it. This Venusaur is the one. Right? Let me see. There's Gigantamax. I taught it Earth Power, but I technically could teach it Weather Ball too. Weather Ball helps deal with steals. Oh, I could do that. Oh, this 100. I'll teach you Weather Ball instead. And then instead of... Should I teach you Leaf Storm? I could do that. Yeah, I'll teach you Leaf Storm. Why not? It does more damage. Protect is more of like, hey, I can just give some breathing room. Okay, so we'll try this team, but it's gonna be Sun based, which will be interesting. But hey, you know, let's give it a shot. See what happens. Actually, you know what? I'll build it from scratch. I'll just build it from here. Zacian can't be used, so I'll change that with Zapdos. I could use my own Tapu Fini. Now I'll win in Landorus. Or I could win in my own Incineroar too. Incineroar had Darkest Lariat, had Parting Shot. I could use Flare Blitz, Fake Out. I probably don't need Darkest. I could either use Darkest Lariat, or I could use Snarl. I could also use Burning Jealousy. I think I'm going to use Burning Jealousy, actually, on the Torkoal. Where is Torkoal? Yeah, I'm going to teach you Burning Jealousy. Just to get some free burns. And then, yeah, I'll use Landorus. I feel like Landorus would be solid. Yo, what is up, Daxman? How you doing? Great to have you here on the stream today. We are playing Pokemon Sword and Shield Online. We have lost all our battles that we battled today. Can you believe it? It's terrible, but you know what? I'm kind of thinking through my thought process and why am I losing these battles? And I kind of realized that I'm playing a little bit too aggressively. I'm not making the safest calls in place, and so had to talk myself through it. But I think now we're in a better place. But yeah, we're gonna actually teach our Torkoal Burning Jealousy. It's a very interesting move. Yeah, true. It really does. I mean, it's just part of the game, honestly. But you know what? It happens. We're going to make it better, and we're just going to come out even stronger. But yeah, Burning Jealousy is actually really strong. It's a move that hits both Pokemon. It's accurate. Gets boosted by Sun, obviously. But the nice thing here is that if the opponent boosts up their stats that turn, they automatically get burnt. And so this is a great way to kind of discourage weakness policies. Yeah, no, Apollo's also in the stream. It helps discourage weakness policies as well as, like, if you're like, you know what, I need to activate my opponent's weakness policy to make moves here. Helps you kind of just, like, capitalize on that. So, we're going to mix things up a little bit. I got this Venusaur, Zapdos, Torkoal, Corsola, and Indeedee. Technically, if I went in Landorus, my team would be Ice Weak. I wouldn't be opposed necessarily, but I don't know if it would be the wisest choice. So, we can mess around with it a little bit. I think what I want to do, though, I'll try it out. Let's try it out. Let's see what happens. Okay. Yeah. So it's a nice way to kind of help deal with burns. But, all right, we're going to try one more time. Let me go get a tissue real quick. I got to blow my nose. Alright, appreciate your patience, folks. We're going to try out this team, and hopeful we can make this work. If it doesn't work for any reason, Dax, I definitely want to try the Mandibuzz team, and we might actually just spend the remainder of the stream building that out, and then maybe go for like one battle or two. But man, I don't want to lose. I don't want to end a stream where we literally lost every battle. That is not going to be fun. But yeah, this team will be interesting. It will mainly use special attackers, and so I will have to watch out for a couple of things like Incineroar's Snarl. Umbreon actually becomes a threat a little bit. I do need to watch out for Parting Shot as well, and Assault Vest. But really, because I know what to watch out for, it's a little bit easier than Intimidate, which is just a blanket check for, or blanket kind of statement for physical users, whereas for special users, there are use cases for particular ones that you have to work through. Venusaur's G-Max Minor Lash actually helps out too. Helps break sashes. The residual damage is really nice. So there are a lot of good things that we can mess around with. And I honestly don't need Venusaur to be uber powerful. I just need it to get the hit, you know? So, you know, honestly, a G-Max Minor Lash might be helpful here. So, okay, we got a couple big threats here. We got the Whimsicott to up the opponent's speed. We have the Zapdos, the Urshifu, their own Indeedee. We have the Cinderace and the Cresselia. So, kind of looking at this, the Torkoal Venusaur doesn't look bad. The opponent doesn't really have a way to turn it off. The opponent also doesn't have much priority against me, so I don't think I need Indeedee. I could use Zapdos. Landorus looks pretty good against this team. And I think Corsola at the end. So, I think what I could do is bring in Venusaur and Torkoal. Yeah, the opponent really has no way to shut this down. So I'm going to bring in Venusaur and Torkoal. And then from there, bring in Landorus and then Corsola at the end. And then just see how to play around that. If Indeedee follows me, then that... Yeah, actually, there is one thing I need to be mindful of. Indeedee's Indeedee's actually pretty powerful with Expanding Force. So that is something I need to watch out for. I think what I want to do is actually put Indeedee to sleep. Then the next turn, either Dynamax, or let Venusaur just be like, you know what, it's done its job. And then get it knocked out, and then Torkoal can play around the field a little bit more. So let's see what happens here. We got Enrique. I could technically use Eruption instead of... that might have been a good idea. Using Eruption instead of Heat Wave. But Heat Wave honestly does a lot of damage. Honestly, I think it's fine. Okay, so Enrique is going to bring in DD in Cresselia. So most likely the opponent is going to be trying out this Trick Room shenanigans. And we brought in Venusaur and Torkoal. So not really a bad thing here. Because honestly, I could double up into the Indeedee slot, do a lot of damage, and then Cresselia sets up Trick Room. Indeedee reveals the Psychic Seed as well, which makes this a little bit easier. Indeedee also is slower because we saw the Psychic Surge go off first. Faster, so it went first. So Trick Room, I will outspeed it. So I think what I want to do here is use Sleep Powder on it, and then I'm going to fire off with this Heat Wave. Try to do as much damage as possible. But yeah, I don't think Cresselia doesn't naturally threaten my team right now. It's probably going to use something like, okay, cool. Woo! There you go. Don't have to worry about no expanding force shenanigans, which was helpful. Indeedee's fast asleep, which is great. Cresselia sets up with Calm Mind. That can run away the game pretty quickly if we're not careful. And we're going to fire off this Heat Wave. So, good attack. Indeedee takes a lot of damage with that crit. We like to see it. And I think Cresselia activates a Key Berry? No, it's just leftovers. Okay. Alright. I'm going to Sleep Powder the Cresselia now. And then I'm going to fire off a Heat Wave again into both. So Torkoal actually pulling in its work making this happen here. And that Sleep Powder was really helpful, because an Expanding Force would just done a ton of damage. Indeedee is still fast asleep, probably trying to go for that Follow Me. And we get to fire off the Sleep Powder. Perfect. Oh, thank goodness. We get that one turn of sleep. And not having to deal with Indeedee in the long run is going to be so helpful. Cresselia is asleep. I'm okay with that. And we're going to fire off this Heat Wave. Enough to knock out Indeedee. Perfect. That's just one threat off the floor. We're just coming in with this incredible amount of damage here. Yeah, Cresselia is just... I'm not a fan of dealing with it in the long run, honestly. But we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Let's see what the opponent brings out next. Cinderace comes out. I actually underspeed. I won't be able... I don't have... Yeah, Cinderace is going to be a little bit tricky because I don't actually have Earth Power. But what I could do here is... Because they'll probably use Max Airstream. Right? So I could probably try to go for... I'll go for Sleep Powder. And then I guess I'll fire off... I'll go for Sleep Powder, and then I'll bring in Landorus. Because Landorus could be the one to Dynamax using the Max Flutterby, actually. So make it a little bit easier to deal with Cinderace. We're literally using Venusaur just to click Sleep Powder, which I'm okay with. I will happily take that, honestly. And then that means that Landorus might be a great Dynamax option in the long run. Luckily, Venusaur gets to survive one Max Airstream, but I think the hard thing here is that it's not going to be able to outspeed afterwards. So we missed with the Sleep Powder, fair, and actually a Max Flare comes out, so that's even better. Venusaur will survive that, so I get another chance to fire off another Sleep Powder. Cresselia is still asleep, and I think what I want to do here... Okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky. I don't want Cresselia to stay around for too long, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it, Sleep Powder the Cinderace one more time. I'm going to fire off the Max Flutterby into the Cresselia slot. Let's see if we can get some big damage off. But yeah, Venusaur putting in the work in the most weirdest way possible. Not actually hitting with G-Max Mind Lash, but rather putting Cinderace to sleep. Or putting a lot of the opponent to sleep. So, very interesting match for sure, but one I ain't complaining. I'm okay with that. Alright, so we're going to respond with our dinosaurs. Yes, right! Venusaur doing work! So I'm really excited. I get to use one of my favorite Pokemon of all time on this team. So hopefully we can turn things around. It looks like we're getting a little bit better. So let's keep up that momentum. The opponent hasn't switched out. We're going to try to take advantage of these sleep turns as much as possible. We get the sleep powder off, so we get to put Cinderace to sleep. That gives me one turn to just kind of chill for a moment. Cinderace is fast asleep, and that means I get to do big damage right here with this Max Flutterby. And hopefully this will get close to a knockout. Okay, so not a knockout quite yet. Super effective. Yeah, it lowers the speed and all that good stuff. Cresselia wakes up. It's going to go for Psychic. Goes for Stored Power. Okay. Okay, that'll be enough to knock out Venusaur. And then I guess the question is, if Cinderace will naturally outspeed Landorus, I might want to up my speed. I guess I got a couple of things I can ask myself. I'm going to go ahead and use Nightshade on the Cresselia, and I'm going to use Max Airstream on it as well. If I double up into the slot, that's going to be game, set, and match. I think that's going to be the most important thing that we can do here. If Cinderace is still asleep, oh baby, we can make this work. Yeah, getting rid of Indeedee was still helpful. We knock out Cresselia, it's going to be helpful, and then I just get to fire off a free Max Quake at the end of the game. And Torkoal can actually protect itself too, so it definitely has there's safety nets we can use. I'm also hopeful that the Intimidate might be enough. Cinderace is fast asleep. We like to see it. We get to fire off this Max Airstream for free. It's enough to knock it out. Thank goodness. Look at that. Look at that. That is just beautiful. You love to see it. We get that speed boost. Cresselia's out of there. And then Corsola doesn't really get to do too much here. It's going to fire off this Nightshade. It's not going to do anything. But the Sunlight's over. And we know it's not Gigantamax Cinderace. So it has to sit with that -1 attack. I could hit it again with another Strength Sap. And I think that will definitely help out here. Okay, and so Urshifu is the last Pokemon. It is that Urshifu Dark. Oh no, Urshifu Rapid Strike. That's actually more rare. The Sunlight's over, but I think what I want to do here is I want to concentrate down on the Urshifu slot, so I'm going to go ahead and use Nightshade, and I'm going to use Max Airstream into it as well. Cinderace could wake up, but really, I think because Corsola is such a defensive Pokemon, such a defensive target, this will make it easier to deal with in the long run. Hopefully we can get this knockout here. Cinderace could also bounce, but honestly, it's not a big deal. Because that means that Landorus can switch out, and I can recycle my... Okay, so it decides not to protect itself. Focus Sash. Nope, not even Focus Sash. We get the knockout in Urshifu. Let's go. Landorus putting in that real work, making it happen. And Urshifu's out. Cinderace wakes up, but it's way too late now. It gets to use that bounce. And it's going to change to a flying type. So this is going to be a really funny interaction. Y'all are going to laugh at this. So you saw that Cinderace like jumped up in the air, right? So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to make Landorus fly at the same time. Actually, I am curious. It did change to flying. Okay. I'm going to Will-O-Wisp it. and I'm gonna fly at the same time. So I also will be jumping up in the air. Cinderace misses with the bounce because of that, and because it's flying, it can still get burnt. There we go. Dax, you did it. Your good luck helped us turn this around, and we are in a commanding lead thanks to those sleep powders. That was a really fun way to use Venusaur for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and switch Corsola out. Corsola's already done its job, and it's at full health. And I can use things like Protect, and then Earthquake, or depending on what my opponent does, like Fly again. But really, I put it in a checkmate. I don't think the opponent can do anything here. Yeah, I honestly can't think of what would my opponent do here to win this one out. I'd probably have to try to fire off a Pyro Ball. And then I could switch out Landorus again if I wanted to. But yeah, the speed boosts were great. I barely got touched. I was able to maximize those sleep turns, and the opponent cancels the battle. We did it! Yes! We did it, folks. Woo! That took some work, but we found the win. I'm feeling great. I say we go. You guys want to continue battling? I say continue. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Sorry, I knocked the mic. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. We're back in the fray. Let's go. Yo, get the hype. Get the hype. Let's do it. I'm so pumped. We did it. Woo! Okay, ooh, yo, this is very reminiscent of very old teams. We got the Dusclops, we got the Lapras, we got the Metagross, the Conkeldurr, which is a very early stage VGC 2020 team. Yo, got that X-Man hype, you know what I'm saying? We got the Ferrothorn, and we got the Incineroar. Okay, a lot of big things. Okay, no weather control, really. Torkoal could help. Venusaur, I like to use, but Venusaur, I'm also kind of worried about the max G-Max resonance against Metagross. It's not as bad because then Metagross would have to use the Burning Gel. I could use Burning Jealousy to burn it. I have to watch out for Conkeldurr's Guts. Indeedee actually deals with Conkeldurr well, but the rest of the team kind of crumbles. Zapdos does really well against a good amount of the team. Even Ferrothorn, it does not want to take some big hits, so I think I want to save Zapdos, but I think I want to slow down the game a little bit. So I'm bringing Landorus, Torkoal. I definitely want to bring in Zapdos, and do I bring in Corsola or Venusaur? I think I'm bringing, yeah, I play a similar role where similar as last time, yeah. It's Torkoal, Venusaur, but the idea is that Venusaur just puts things to sleep. That's the difference. So let's see what we can do here. Trying to put things to sleep and just slowing down the game. And I think that in itself might be our win condition here. Yeah, the problem though is that you can't have both Focus Sash and Wide Lens, or else that would have been great. So we are going to get Dusclops and Incineroar out here early on versus Torkoal and Venusaur. So, Venusaur, not really a big fan of having Incineroar out because of the fake-out potential. But I feel like in this case, I can still do some decent damage with potentially something like... okay, so it's going to find all my items. Yeah, because Dusclops is a jerk. I think what I can do here is I can at least fire off a Heat Wave, just do some damage here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and Protect. I want to scout out that first turn or fake-out. But also, if you're going to fire off a Flare Blitz, I want to be mindful of that too. So we're going to get the, yeah, Fake Out. I figured as much. Okay, so it goes into Torkoal. And we're going to get the Trick Room up. That's interesting. Not like a bad thing per se, but I mean, like... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I guess I'll bring in Corsola here. There could have been another way I played it. If I had Inity, then putting Dusclops to sleep, but... Dusclops fires off the Nightshade into the Corsola slot. Do I disable it? Yes. I get to fire off this Heat Wave, so it does decent amount to the Dusclops. Yeah, it's not going to do too much. I'm not moving much of the board here. And Incineroar actually goes for a pretty big Flare Blitz. I am able to survive it, which is nice, and I disable it. But I think the main thing here is I gotta use String Sap next turn. I'll fire off another Heat Wave, and then, yeah, I'll go for another String Sap. I'll go for a String Sap on the Incineroar slot. That'll be helpful in the long run. Luckily, Dusclops can't do anything else, and the opponent has to try their best to maximize these 5 turns with Trick Room. Yeah, if Metagross comes in, I mean, I get all my HP back. So really, it's just, maybe I can chip, that's what I'm thinking. If I chip enough at the opponent, I can make this work. Dusclops goes to Will-O-Wisp onto the Corsola slot, so I agree with that. I think that was a solid move. It slows down my heal. I get to fire off this Heat Wave. Does a decent amount. I get the Strength Snap though, which is very important. And this will be very helpful in just keeping me healthy and alive. And Incineroar fires off the Snarl. It doesn't make a big difference against Corsola, but I'm not as big of a fan of Torkoal dealing with that Snarl. Okay. So it shows that Incineroar probably doesn't have like a big Dark type move, which is nice. I'm going to go for the Nightshade on the Dusclops though. I think if we double target this Dusclops and knock it out, that's going to be huge in the long run. Dusclops also can't really do too much here, because it's disabled, so it can't use Nightshade. So I think the only thing it can do is try to use something like Pain Split. But who would you Pain Split? I guess my Torkoal? Yeah, that's fair. Okay, Dusclops actually switches out. We got Lapras, the Living Legend! Oh, that's such a cool... Oh, I love that. That comes straight from Heart Gold and Soul Silver if you beat Trainer Red. So we get to fire off this Heat Wave. Does a decent amount of damage to Incineroar, not too much here. Incineroar eats its berry. So that means G-Max Lapras, okay. And then I gotta fire off the Nightshade. And Incineroar fires off a parting shot into the Corsola slot. So actually that's not too bad. I'm okay with that. Because what that means is that that frees up Lapras. That makes it easier for Torkoal to deal with Lapras in the long run. Okay, so Dusclops is back in the fray. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'll still do damage, sure. Yeah, I'll do damage still. And I'll set up Light Screen. Okay, opponent's gonna naturally Dynamax Lapras, which makes sense. It's gonna either set up either a G-Max Resonance, or it's gonna fire off the Max Geyser. Dusclops goes for the Nightshade. I'll take it, okay. I fire off the Heat Wave. And I get to fire off the Light Screen, helping me survive any of the special attacks here. And Lapras goes for the Max Geyser, most likely into the Torkoal slot. So, I took that, but not my favorite. Okay, Trick Room's over. So, here's the weird thing. With Trick Room now being over... Yeah, I think I need a Pokemon getting knocked out here. I'm gonna protect with the Torkoal. And then I'm going to try to hit that Nightshade on the Dusclops slot. Okay, Resonance goes out. I wonder if this is enough, actually. It won't be. It's close. Oh, that was a great call out there. Cool. Cool. So, okay, Burning Jealousy is at 70. It should be enough to knock out Dusclops. And then I can try to use Nightshade on it. So, Lapras can only target one Pokemon. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. Max Geyser comes out. That's fine. Okay, so, okay, this is kind of interesting, because what I've done is I've effectively, surviving is actually not bad. I guess the question is, do I want Venusaur or do I want Zapdos? I want Zapdos, because I feel like Lapras would actually target Zapdos, and I can use that. Yeah, I feel like it can. I think we're actually going to hurt him pretty well with this early game Dynamax. Conkeldurr usually doesn't carry Protect anyways, and so what I can do here is I can take advantage of this using the Zapdos Dynamax to outspeed the Conkeldurr, use Max Airstream on it, and potentially get a knockout. Or I can just deal with... I think dealing with the Lapras early would be helpful. Yeah, I feel like Lapras could be helpful here. I'm going to go ahead and use Max Lightning on it, and then I'm going to use Strength Snap on the Conkeldurr. Because I should outspeed the Lapras. There is one problem, though. If Lapras survives, and it has a weakness policy. But also, this team had Metagross, which most likely was the weakness policy Pokemon. So you really can't do anything about the screens. If Conkeldurr decides to do something like, hey, I'm going to use Knockoff, or I'm going to use Ice Punch, that actually would be detrimental to it. So we're going to fire off this Max Lightning. It is enough for that knockout, thank goodness. Dax, I think you're right. The early Gigantamax was a little bit too early for them, and it hurt them in the long run. Wow, this is one match. Oh, we get outspeed and we get the straight sap. Let's go! Look at all that HP and holding on by 4 HP. Corsola once again demonstrates how defensive it is. All that HP back. And our Conkeldurr fires off the Ice Punch. Thank you, Conkeldurr. I appreciate it because guess what? Now I get my weakness policy activated. And so I get to fire off these attacks for free. And I'm just like extremely bulky here. This is great. Conkeldurr might have burned itself, but honestly, because I've lowered its attack once, that's just going to be so nice for Corsola in the long run. The opponent's Conkeldurr, and Conkeldurr's tough Pokemon, fighting types in general. Max Airstream is such a great attack, and the opponent just has no way to deal with it effectively. So now I just get to go ahead and fire off Max Airstream into the Incineroar slot, and I think I'm going to go ahead and fire off a Nightshade in that slot too, just to make sure we can deal with it. Conkeldurr is no longer a threat. I got +2 special attack, and this should be enough to knock out the Incineroar. If anything, Conkeldurr can't do anything to Corsola. Can't freeze it. Yeah, I feel like Metagross would have been a little bit scarier for me to deal with. Incineroar at the end phase was just not that great, and the Intimidates actually meant nothing because I didn't have many physical attackers. Metagross would have been a better choice. I could have played around with it still. I had Corsola. It would have been harder to play around with for sure. But I agree. And this is great. I get to fire off a free Nightshade. I'm barely going to take any damage. And Conkeldurr might get another Ice Punch. But honestly, at this point, it shouldn't come close to knocking me out. Yeah. The only thing that could happen is I get frozen. I don't get frozen. So next turn, I'm going to win. Corsola has to deal with it burn again. But again, not a big deal. Conkeldurr is slowly on a ticking timer, thanks to its burn. And that Light Spoon paid off. Being able to survive a lot of Lapras' onslaught was so helpful. I'm on a +2 Max Airstream. You can't win this. Woo! Let's go. We're going to fire off this final max airstream. Let's go, Zapdos. And get that knockout. Yeah, weakness policy Zapdos is a threat that people don't see coming. And I am absolutely loving it. That was perfect. That was perfect. Knocking out the Lapras. And really actually doing a lot of damage to it, too. Yeah. Yeah, no, he was chill. He was chill, for sure. I mean, hey, you know, we had some losses in the stream before, and we changed up the team, and it's been working out really well. I'm trying to think back. I think the opponent was too passive. I was able to maximize those Trick Room turns, and really, I mean, the opponent didn't have much to deal with it. Torkoal was fine under Trick Room, and so was Corsola, and that really helped out. Speaking of Torkoal and Corsola and Trick Room, it looks like this team also has a Trick Room mode, more specifically with the Porygon 2. It also has some speed control. We got the Regieleki. So I like Landorus up until Venusaur and Glastrier. It's kind of the two Pokemon I'm like. I don't like Landorus against them. I do have my own Venusaur, but Venusaur v Venusaur actually can work because I have Max Flare on my Venusaur. Okay, I'm seeing the pieces to the puzzle form. Regieleki, I think, outspeeds my own Venusaur naturally. And so if I can hit it hard turn 1, then I could probably work around it. So I feel like here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Venusaur Torkoal. Zapdos is a little bit of a... I like Assault Vest Landorus. Corsola in the endgame against Glastrier is actually really good. So if I can figure that piece out, how do I get Corsola ready to go? I think we're in a good spot here. Some things I have to be mindful of. The opponent goes for Trick Room. I will also want to put the Glastrier to sleep. Things of that nature I think is going to be important. We can also use Burning Jealousy, which will be helpful. So let's see what the opponent does. We're going to get the Venusaur and Urshifu versus the Venusaur and Torkoal. So, kind of looking at this, I can't put my own Venusaur to sleep. The Urshifu can bypass the Protect anyways. If I was Venusaur, what would I do? Yeah, I feel like what I can do here is I'm going to Weather Ball the Venusaur, and I'm going to go ahead and use a Heat Wave. I'm going to use a 70, 95. I don't want to lose accuracy. I just want to knock out this Venusaur. Perfect! That's fine by me. The Protect actually is really nice. I get to fire off this Weather Ball for free. Oh, I just get the knockout. Let's go. Hey, hey! We like to see it. That's just going to make things so much easier. I mean, I'll take it. That's a great turn. And that means that Urshifu actually is wide open. So we can play this a couple different ways. Okay, Porygon 2 is interesting. Porygon 2 traces Drought. Okay. So I think what I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and fire off a Leaf Storm into the Urshifu slot, and then I'm going to fire off another Burning Jealousy. That should be enough for me to pick up the Urshifu knockout, and then I'll be under Trick Room, and I just have to kind of play around that for a couple turns here. So we're going to fire off that Leaf Storm. It should be enough to knock out here, or get close to the knockout. Not enough, but I get to the red. Urshifu goes, fires off the Wicked Blow. Who's it going after? I can survive one. Okay. I wish it was a little bit more damage, so I could have gotten the Citrus Berry. But the Urshifu knockout's helpful, and we get the Trick Room now. Okay. So, yeah, looking at that turn, man, we really did put ourselves in a good spot here. Torkoal can fire off things for free. Venusaur took out a lot of damage, and we have Glastrier coming up at the end. Okay. So Corsola at the end game really works out well. I think what I want to do here is protect Venusaur for now, and I think I'm going to go fire off a... I don't want to do Heat Wave quite yet. Yeah, I feel like I could switch out Torkoal. Yeah, I feel like that's what I want to do. Okay. So I agree with protecting Venusaur. I feel like switching out Torkoal. Let's do that. Because what the opponent could do... So this covers a couple plays. Opponent looks at this and says, hey, I'm going to try to knock out this Torkoal now. it goes for max Quake or high horsepower on the Glacier. Me actually switching in Landorus often actually makes it harder for Glacier to bring his momentum back. And so that'll be helpful too. I can re-switch out Venusaur again using like Sleep Powder or something. You know, I can make Venusaur I don't have to use Venusaur for the attack anymore. I can use it for the sleep. And that can help slow things down from Porygon 2. Okay, so Venusaur is going to protect itself. I think the one thing I do need to be mindful of how to deal with Porygon 2. Max Quake. Oh, look at that. Exactly what we called out. And we get the Tri-Attack as well. That protects me, so that's nice. And that's a whole turn the opponent wasted. Okay. I'll probably use Sleep Powder on the Porygon 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch back out Landorus for Torkoal. Okay, so we are going to get the Max Hailstorm. Is it going to the Venusaur slot? It goes for the Torkoal slot. So I'll be able to survive this and to get my Citrus Berry up. So, man, all these switches are just becoming masterful. And especially with that lowered attack, I was able to take that even better. Torkoal gets to eat that Citrus Berry, thank goodness. That was what I was kind of upset at first. I was like, Wicked Blow bit barely enough damage for me to get that. We are going to get that Tri-Attack into the Venusaur slot. It will do a decent amount of damage, but not too great here. I unfortunately missed with that, but not a big deal. Porygon 2 is going to be taking some hail damage, and so will Venusaur. I'm trying to think, how would I deny my opponent? I think what I want to do here is bring out Corsola, and then I'm going to double switch, actually. Oh, hang on. Before I play a move like that. Trick Room ends in one more turn. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to basically make it to a point where the opponent has no option, and then I can just knock it out. Yeah, those Intimidates are just going to make it so hard for Glacier to do anything. And then I can burn it, and basically, I'm going to put it to a point where I can just leave Glacier alone. So we're going to get another Max Hailstorm. Is it in the Corsola slot? It's in the Landorus slot. So a good call out there. The -2 will be enough for it, even with that, to be knockout. But the Chilling Neigh activates, but it's now at -1 with that Chilling Neigh. And then Porygon uses Tri-Attack, doesn't affect me. And I think my out here is Corsola v Porygon 2. Corsola can win the end game. Dynamax ends, actually. So I'm going to win it back from Venusaur. Okay. So, Glacier is at -1. Trick Room ends next turn. Porygon 2 is at -2, but that doesn't make a difference. Corsola could switch into for Torkoal, and then I could protect this turn with Venusaur. Venusaur could be the Dynamax Pokemon, or, oh, you know what? It actually would be helpful to have Venusaur be the Dynamax Pokemon. Because what would happen here is that Venusaur would knock out Glacier, then use VG-Max Mind Lash. Perfect. That's fine. Okay. So, Trick Room's over. He did reveal that, so that does prove a little problematic that you have Ally Switch. With the Sun up, I'm going to go ahead and use the Max Strike on the Glacier slot. Even if you knock out Venusaur, then the Burning Jealousy should be enough to help lower any effectiveness here. But really, once we get the knockout, I'm trying to get that G-Max Mind Lash at the end game to help deal with Porygon 2. Alright, so you decided not to change up. We're gonna fire off this free max flare. Does a lot of damage. Weakness policy, nope. And then we're gonna get the tri-attack firing off. I should survive one. Cool. And then I get to fire off this Burning Jealousy for free. Awesome! Man, you love to see it. And that's enough to get the knockout. Glacier is done, and it's just Porygon 2 versus the world. Porygon 2 has to deal with, like, 2 turns of Venusaur just rage rampaging at it. I think I'm going to go ahead and just fire off a Solar Beam just to make sure I'm accurate. And then, yeah, I just going to fire off these Vine Lashes for free. Yeah! Let's go! Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo! Oh, man, that was great. I was surprised we were able to pull that off, but, you know, we did it. We did it. Oh, my gosh. Can we get some hype in the chat? That was great. Venusaur and Torkoal coming in clutch. Yeah, I'll go for one more battle. I'm feeling it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we can get the Master Ball rank. That's how we're going to end the stream. Let's get at least a Master Ball rank. Oh, not Master. Ultra Ball rank. And I think that we're going to end at a great place. Yeah! Yo, we got the Grookey's up in here! Yeah, that's right. We got the Grookey's and the Daxman hype. By the way, folks, if you're tuning in, Daxman, he has recently gotten the Kingdom Hearts collection. Never played it in his life. His mind's about to be blown. Oh, yo, man, I ain't got time for that. We'll see. We'll try. Okay, so we got the Colossal team coming up here with the Dragapult kind of saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be a jerk, and I'm gonna make the Colossal be really strong and fast. So we could try to prevent this by having Landorus actually lead. Dragapult would hit Colossal, then Colossal would hit something else, and then Landorus would finish it up. Yeah, actually I can do that, because I can bring in this NDD, it takes the hit, I can, like, trick you into picking Zapdos as the target. So that could work. That also works with Venusaur as the lead. Yeah, I feel like the speed control isn't as important. I like the idea of Zapdos and Landorus as the lead. I like NDD, and then how do I feel about Corsola? Not as well. I mean, as much as I like Corsola, I feel like the problem, it helps with Rillaboom, and everything else is going to have a harder time. Torkoal on its own, I think is what we want to go for. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we gotta prepare for the Dragapult Colossal lead, or another way that it plays, but we'll figure it out. You know, of course, Colossal teams are scary because they can do things beyond just leading with a Colossal and trying that. The Urshifu is also another common tactic there, so we just need to be mindful. Okay, so we're going to get Dragapult Colossal, and we are going to fire off Zapdos and Landorus. If Colossal goes for the max Vocalith, okay, so Intimidate kicks in, but it doesn't really make a difference. Here's what I'm thinking. Max Vocalith would go on Indeedee. Alright, Indeedee takes one of those. Then I just Max Quake the Colossal, and we just end it. So this is a big play. But, I mean, if anything, we're just going to do a lot of damage here. No switches from the opponent quite yet. I'm trying to think, what could have the opponent done to make this harder? Okay, Psychic Seed activates. I get the extra special defense. No switches. We don't see any protects quite yet. So, okay, no switches is good. We like to see that. I could probably get this knockout. And if so, that means that we just run over the opponent with like really strong attacks. I can use Indeedee to redirect. We can make this work. Okay, the opponent is going to Dynamax as well. That's the Colossal. And so, are we going to see that that Steam Engine roar? Okay. Here's the tricky thing. I gotta survive. I think the Colossal looked at this and said, I can knock out Zapdos. That's what I'm thinking. The opponent is getting a little bit too... Okay, so we get the Surf. It doesn't do too much on my Landorus or the Indeedee, so most likely very low special attack, which makes sense. Colossal Steam Engine activates, its weakness policy, y'all know the drill. If you play VGC in 2020 or 21, you know the drill. Okay. Okay, we get the Vocalith. Who the Vocalith targets is big. It targets the Indeedee. I don't survive, which is okay. You know, unfortunate losing the Indeedee there. But, you know, oh, the critical hit on top of that. That's harsh. That's such a jerk move on the Entity. But you know what? I say forget this. I'm gonna fire off a Max Quake. Just get out of here, Colossal. Bah! Bah! Get him out of there. No more Dynamax for you. Get him out of there. Colossal's out. Okay. One big threat's gone. I feel like it's a fair trade. Okay, Landorus is going to be taking some damage. And probably Landorus could also survive too, thanks to the Assault Vest. And so that was another reason why I kind of went it that way. Okay, we need to fire off some max airstreams. We need to get some speed up in here, you know what I'm saying? So we got Zapdos up in the fray, and the opponent is going to send their own NDD. And so some redirects, and we're probably going to see some shenanigans like that. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and protect my Zapdos. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to protect Zapdos from Thunderbolt. No, I'll Thunderbolt in the NDD slot, just in case I can't get that knockout immediately. And yeah, anyone? Oh, Max Flutterby. I think we can aim to get this NDD knockout. NDD protects itself. Of course, I would have done something similar. Dragapult goes for the Will-O-Wisp. Unfortunate there. Landorus is not going to be as effective as I want it to be. But hopefully the Max Flutterby will make it harder for NDD to play. The opponent's going to try to eke this out the long way. Okay, so that helps, kind of helps, but I do need the speed advantage. I should fire off a Max Airstream into the Dragapult slot, and I could probably fire off a Thunderbolt as well. So I'm going to try that. And let's see what we can do here. Okay, Big Green Stripe comes out, just discouraging any physical attacks here. We'll fire off the Thunderbolt, so it does not too much here. Maybe a Paralysis. No Paralysis. But we get the Max Airstream. I'm okay with that. Okay, so good news, bad news. We were able to knock out the Colossal pretty early on. The bad news here, ooh, Expanding Force is actually going to hurt a lot. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Ooh, and yeah, the Vocalith still getting off. The Vocalith is problematic. That just does so much offensive pressure. And the damage output is so great. It's going to be tough. How many turns of Vocalith we got left? One. This is the last turn. Yeah, Expanding Force is so powerful too. Okay, we'll try it that way. Man, I ran into the Protect twice. Yeah, it's smart for the opponent, even if they lost a Colossal early on. Okay, come on. Can the Heat Wave at least burn the Dragapult? Because that could be a way we can crawl back to this. Nope. And I think I had to lose to another Breaking Stripe, yeah. Oh, it just Surf. Interesting. It's enough to knock out Zapdos. And it doesn't do too much on Landorus. Okay, rocks are over. But burn is not going to be fun. Okay. Basically, it's Torkoal versus the world here. Torkoal does a lot of damage. I think the problem here is that... Okay. Here's how I'm going to play it. I'm going to protect Torkoal. And I'm going to Earthquake. Maybe I'll get a critical hit. Oh, you know what? I could Rock Slide. And then try to hit with Heat Wave. If I get a flinch, that might be enough. Okay. It's a weird way to play this. But we got to bank on some things. Okay, not going to do too much. It does decent on Dragapult. Critical hit, that's why. We're okay with that. Dragapult hits with the Breaking Swipe. It'll be enough to knock out the Landorus, but can we get the flinch on Indeedee? And if so, then the Heat Wave might be enough to get us back in here. Indeedee gets to fire off a free Expanding Force. Man, that's gonna hurt! I use Indeedee a lot, and I love Expanding Force. It's a great move. Okay, so we get to eat the Citrus Berry, though. But yeah, I mean, the opponent's last Pokemon, that's going to be the problem here. Get to fire off the Heat Wave. It will be enough to knock out Dragapult. We do get a good amount of damage on Indeedee. Okay, so it really depends. What's the last Pokemon? Second Train's over, so no more Expanded Force, like, really strong. I think the main question here is, if it's Rillaboom, then I might get lucky here. It's Incineroar. Incineroar doesn't have a great hit on Torkoal, but Torkoal doesn't have a great hit on Incineroar either. So, that's the problem. I'm going to Protect to make sure I don't have to deal with any Fake Out shenanigans. But really, the problem here is that Incineroar can use, like, Snarl. And if it has Snarl, then we're in trouble. Because then the damage output we put isn't going to be that great. Alright, so we'll try Heat Wave. It should be enough to knock out Indeedee, most likely, but it's this weird Incineroar Torkoal dance. It depends on what you have. Indeedee actually is faster with the Expanding Force. It doesn't do that much anymore, and it has Flare Blitz. Okay. It'll do a decent amount because we're in the sun. Yeah, unfortunate loss here. I knocked out the Indeedee, but honestly, man, if that critical hit didn't happen, I feel like we could have had more time. And that would have been enough to have knocked out the opponent. You know what? I'll let him knock me out. We'll do it that way. You're gonna have to get this Flare Blitz off. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. It was the Indeedee. If my Indeedee survived, I would have knocked out the I would have knocked out the Colossal, and then I should have ultimately targeted the Dragapult using max Airstreams and Hurricanes and all that good stuff. But I did make the right read of saying, hey, you know what? It's probably going to target Indeedee. Another thing I could have done, too, is I could have protected Zapdos, taken the Volcalith, and then... man, this guy used hacked Pokemon anyways. Oaks Lab. Lazy, can't even train up your own Pokemon. Man, it's so easy, too. I swear. I don't want to see another Oaks Lab Pokemon ever again. Well, I did promise y'all we get to Ultra Ball. We will get to Ultra Ball. We'll get to Ultra Ball today. But, yeah, I think that would have been another way Zapdos would have been able to play. And then we got from there. Okay, so we have a very interesting team. Garchomp, Pheromosa, and Naganadel. Naganadel actually can run away with a lot of games if you're not careful. This team is nice because Venusaur and Torkoal work really well against it. I think the one Pokemon I'm worried about is Zapdos, but Landorus can also work there. And then the end game, Corsola works out everyone but Naganadel. Indeedee also works really well too. Indeedee's not necessarily weak against any of them. What would Venusaur bring that Indeedee wouldn't? Yeah, I mean, Torkoal also brings Fire Offensive. Venusaur also attracts Zapdos. Okay. I'm cool with Torkoal Indeedee, actually. I think that would be cool. And then we can use Landorus and Corsola to clean up the game at the end. Yeah. Alright. Against Garchomp, Corsola would love to fight Garchomp. So if I can bring that together, I think we can make this work. Ooh, and I can also do something like that too, a Burning Jealousy, and then immediately, I can use Mystical Fire and immediately Burning Jealousy on the Metagross, just in case my opponent's like, you know, I'm going to activate my own weakness policy. So, the opponent is going to be leading off Pheromosa and Naganadel, and that means that Indeedee and Torkoal are going to be out in the fray here. So, not too bad on my end. It attracts Indeedee to take a lot of damage, but if I play my cards right, I can use this to my advantage and say, you know what, I'm going to protect Indeedee for this turn, and then go for the rest of the team. The problem with Naganadel is that if I am too passive, it might set up with Nasty Plot. But I feel like Naganadel also would want to be more defensive because Indeedee naturally exerts pressure. Okay, if it's more offensively based, I don't know if NDD can take 2 hits. I'm going to go with Protect, and then I'm going to go with Heat Wave to try to bring down this Pheromosa. And the burn might be helpful against Naganadel. Okay, no Dynamax, so it probably did go for Nasty Plot. Okay, the Protect actually does help. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, the double up was perfect. I'm able to take both of those. No, one of them missed. I hope it's not the Pheromosa. Okay, cool. Pheromosa's down to the Focus Sash. Okay. Draco Meteor is going to be a little bit tricky. I kind of feel comfortable going with Corsola to handle both of those. And I think I'm going to go with another Heat Wave and just see what happens here. I'm a little bit cautious. Yeah, I don't want both of them to get knocked out here. I feel like Corsola can help. Okay, so we get the U-turn. It's in the Corsola slot. I take that okay. I disable it, but yeah, I feel like Pheromosa in the end game I can deal with easier. It's a 1 HP too. So we can find different ways of like, oh, hey, guess what? Max Rockfall. Okay. Alright, this is going to be a tough one. We can do it, though. We can do it. Here comes Garchomp. Oh, okay. Okay, I like to see it. Because essentially, this won't do that much. But I have the chance to burn. So we can use that to our advantage. Here comes the Draco Meteor. Naganadel is at -2 special attack. And I don't think it wants to stay around. Oh, it has a Mentor Herb? Oh, it switches out with the Eject Pack. Interesting. So you're forced to either bring in Pheromosa and get a knockout here, or you have to bring something else, which is the Metagross, which means it has to take on this Heat Wave, which is going to be pretty powerful. I get closer to a knockout, actually. Weakness Policy is activated, but, I mean... Okay. I'm going to Strength Sap the Garchomp. And then I'm going to... Huh. Metagross won't outspeed Landorus. Yeah, this is such an interesting turn of events. Okay, yeah, I agree with the Strength Sap on the Garchomp. Yeah, go for Protect, yeah. Make it a little more passive turn. Okay. Okay. That's good. Stopping Tantrum. We get the Crunch. Oof, that's just going to be some big damage. Oh, I survive. Please don't double target. He double targets. That's tough. Okay. Not the end of the world, because now I can just fire off a free Earthquake. Intimidate lowers Garchomp. Doesn't do anything to Metagross, but the thing is, Garchomp can't have a free safe switch in. I'm going to do something very risky, and I'm just going to go ahead and switch out Torkoal for the Indeedee to take this attack. Any Pokemon you switch in is not going to be a good one either, right? So if you switched in Pheromosa, that's a free knockout. You switch in Naganadel, that's super effective. You switch it, right? So I mean, I'm trying to use that to my advantage here. Stone Edge fires off into the Indeedee slot, so I'm okay with that. And I get to fire off the sweet Earthquake. That means Metagross is out of the picture. Indeedee took a decent amount of damage, but honestly, I think at this point, that's okay. And now it just depends on what the next Pokemon is. Okay, it's Naganadel. Naganadel probably doesn't have anything that's super effective. It doesn't have any ice moves. So I'm going to max Airstream the Garchomp, and then I'm going to follow me the Indeedee. Getting the speed boost allows me to outspeed the Naganadel. Landorus is going to be my win condition. Opponent's going to go ahead and use that max. Fair enough, Pikachu. It definitely is the top 800. That means that 98 Pokemon are below it. So Naganadel Dynamaxing actually isn't as much fun as you would hope for. The problem here is that it the max Wormwinds will be a little bit problematic here, lowering my attack. But I'm hopeful, at least with the speed advantages, I can probably survive some of these attacks, and then at the end game, get the knockouts that I need. Landorus is going to be able to Dynamax here. We're going to follow me with Indeedee, so this is going to protect it against any Garchomp shenanigans. Okay, Max Wormwind goes into the Indeedee slot. Unfortunate there, that means that Landorus's attack is permanently at -1. Probably is going to have to deal with some negative attack going forward, but if we can get some speed increases, that might help out in the long run. Beast Boost activates, please not speed. It is speed, unfortunately. Dang it. We get Crunch. Crunch isn't going to do too much. Man, why you gotta lower my defense at the same time? Okay, we get the Max Airstream off, though. Okay, that will be enough to knock out Garchomp, which is nice. Okay, Sunlight's over, but we activate it anyways. Weirdness disappears. So no more Psychic Terrain. I feel like Pheromosa would be pretty problematic. So I do want to get this Burning Jealousy off the... Okay, so Pheromosa is in the game. I'm trying to think. Actually, Torkoal being at full health is actually helpful too. So that'll be nice. Landorus might outspeed Pheromosa, I'm not sure. But if not, I'm going to use a Max Quake on it, just to get a special defense boost, and I'm going to use Burning Jealousy. Because Naganadel just got a boost. It's mainly a special attacker, though, so it won't make as big of a difference. Here comes the Max Wormwind. It's going after that Torkoal. Oh, jeez, it just flat out knocks me out. That's not great. My attack continually drops, and we're just going to have to deal with it. Beast Boost activates, it means to get speed. I'm at +1 speed. Can I please outspeed Pheromosa? I outspeed Pheromosa. Thank you. Okay, so hopefully the special defense will be helpful in the long run. And I feel like that's all I need at this point. Thank goodness for that at Max Airstream. It's going to be an interesting one because Landorus is technically going to be hitting that -3. But I am hopeful that I can knock out this... I mean, the speed boost that Naganadel is getting don't mean anything anymore. It's just the... Oy, this is a tough one. It really is just us clicking the Earthquake button. We're going to have to deal with a Max... Okay, thank goodness for Assault Vest. Yes, let's go. Assault Vest kicking in, making it work. I will have to lose that attack, but we're going to be able to survive these hits equally well, thanks to my defensive buffs. Here comes the Max Quake. Ooh, baby! Was that a crit in there? No, it's just a normal super effective attack. Let's go. I feel like we can win this one. Landorus, let's go. We got to just hit the Earthquake button. Draco Meteor is still going to do a decent amount of damage, but yeah, with +2 special attack and Assault Vest, I think that's going to be very helpful. Yeah, let's go for another Earthquake, and hopefully we can get this knockout here. I'm hopeful. Fire Blast fires off. That's actually going to be pretty big. We survived, thank goodness. Oh no, the burn! Ooh, that's not great. Oh man, that's the last thing we want. Do we get the knockout though? We get the knockout! Let's go! Landorus! Landorus! Oh my goodness, we gotta clip that, yo. Oh, I couldn't even believe it. Yo, -3 attack. And Landorus is still able to do it. It's because of the special defense buffs, dude. That was it. Naganadel with the eject button to be able to beast boost. Actually, that's probably the reason why it did so much damage. If you notice, the opponent didn't give their Pokemon Dynamax candy. That makes a difference in the amount of HP they get. So that actually did make a difference. Yeah, I was worried about nice D-plot, and that was what I was worried about. Pheromosa comes in with the Focus Sash. Triple Axle would have been a big threat, so us getting that Max Airstream at that right before was perfect against the Garchomp. Garchomp hit that Crunch, which was a little bit scary, but again, because we were able to deal with it earlier. It wasn't that big of a deal. Weakness policy, but you weren't really able to do too much with it, so that was nice. Zapdos came in with a static, actually. What was your life form? Interesting, yeah. Volt Switch is interesting. Discharge actually works well with Garchomp. That was a very common strategy. Disquake. And then we had the sturdy Magnezone, actually, so not Magnet Pull, which is a great way to play it. Allows you to survive one hit, Quick Step Area activates, you could use Endure multiple times, and basically just waste the opponent's time, which is a cool way to do that. I like that. I like the idea of the Magnezone freaking out the opponent of, like, I gotta protect my Steel-type Pokemon, so great call out there. Alright, Over Battle, we can do this. We can try to push for Ultra Ball, but man, that was an interesting battle. I did not anticipate us to win that, but I'm glad we did. I mean, it really was piecing all the getting all the pieces together. Torkoal with this fire type moves have been really helpful. And that burn, man, that would have been scary if something happened. But yeah, the special defense boost was absolutely important. Those max quakes really did pay off, and being able to, you know, take one attack from Naganadel, and because Naganadel didn't really chip away at Landorus, it just gave it that end game it needed. It had just enough it could do it. So yeah, Landorus, absolutely. I'm so excited about it. That was great. That was an awesome battle. Okay, hopefully the last battle, but we got a pretty big one and scary one here, including Hydreigon, Metagross, Gastrodon, Stakataka, Chandelure, and Rotom Heat. So the opponent realizes, hey, you know, Gastrodon is pretty weak to grass, and guess what? I'm going to really double down on dealing with that, with both Chandelure and Rotom Heat in the mix here. However, even without, actually, one thing that's nice is that Torkoal has Solar Beam, and so that does really well against both of them. Suck Attack is the only thing that Torkoal doesn't really like to fight, but Landorus and Zapdos can help deal with it. Corsola could work. I think the problem with Corsola is Hydreigon, and kind of looking at I can deal with Hydreigon and Zapdos. It won't be like super effective attacks, but I can hit it. And I think that's the important thing. Can you hit it? Yes. And Landorus also has like max Flutterby too. So I feel like what I want to do is Torkoal Landorus, see what goes on, like what the opponent brings and how they kind of play around it, and then Zapdos and Corsola at the end game here. Yeah, it's a very spicy meatball of a team. There's a lot of interesting tech that the opponent can play. I definitely see the Metagross coming out and ready to rock too. So we just need to be mindful of a couple things that could potentially come out in this fight. Luckily though, because of the Gastrodon, I can use things like Solar Beam, and it might not even come up, but I just don't feel confident with Venusaur. And I feel like the opponent might be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to read into that. Okay, so the opponent actually brings in both Rotom and Chandelure. I've unfortunately done a kind of bad thing by giving it the Sun. So it did anticipate that I was going to go for Venusaur Torkoal lead, and I didn't feel confident doing that. Possible that the opponent is Choice Scarfed with any of them, but I think what I want to do here is I don't want to switch out Torkoal, but I am going to protect it, and I'm going to go for a Max Rockfall into the Rotom slot, just to deny it any, basically just trying to make sure I can't make it too passive of a turn. That would have been interesting if I had Tyranitar and Venusaur, and then I would use Weather Ball against it. Yeah, that would have been interesting. I might have early committed to this Dynamax, I'll admit, but you know what? We're going to make it happen. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so Torkoal protects. I don't see any protects from my opponent, so most likely is going to try to do something like, okay, cool, we get the Max Rockfall off. You're going to try to deny a more passive turn from this Rotom. Awesome, we get the one-turn knockout. I'm okay with that. I feel like we're paying dividends here. I just need to be mindful of a reverse sweep coming up. Rotom's knocked out. Chandelure goes for Trick Room. Okay. Cool. I'm okay with that. Alright, so now we have to be mindful of what would the Trick Room setter Pokemon be, and just make sure we can take it on. We actually get Gastrodon as a potential Trick Room sweeper. Torkoal can't use its grass moves anymore. Corsola can deal with Gastrodon decently well. I think at this case, I'm going to use Max Quake on the Chandelure spot, and then try to knock it out. Torkoal is going to retreat. It was funny, at a moment, Landorus looking over to the side. Gastrodon most likely is going to Dynamax here. Probably he's going to use something like the Max Geyser. And then what we can do is we can play around with this a little bit. I think one thing we can try to do is return Landorus and turn off our Trick Room, or like turn off the Dynamax early. The Assault Vest will allow me to survive at least one attack. Okay, so we have the Max Hailstorm instead. Ooh, that's actually going to do a decent amount of damage. I survived with 18 HP. Woo! Nelly! That was a lot of damage. Problem here, though, is if Chandelure also doubles up in that slot, then we could lose it. Gastrodon's actually a Life Orb. We get the Shadow Ball, and it isn't going to be enough to knock out the Landorus. So Landorus is unfortunately knocked out. I do lure my Dynamax early. I knock out the Rotom Heat. But yeah, I think the main challenge here is that, yeah, so if I'm Gastrodon, what would I, okay, so I'm a Life Orb, so obviously I can't take a grass type attack, and so if I was the opponent, I might try to, this is going to be tough, because Torkoal can't really threaten Chandelure, right, that's the problem here, right, so I'm going to Light Screen, and then I'm going to try this Solar Beam. The problem is that Gastrodon itself can be like, I'm going to Max Guard here, which I wouldn't blame it for doing that, but maybe if it doesn't. Nope, it doesn't. So we're going to go fire off this free Solar Beam. So I'm okay with that. Pop! Does a lot of damage. I get a free Light Screen on top of that, so I get to survive these attacks better. I'm okay with this. I think this was a great turn. We get the Max Quake, which is even better. Because while I will be taking a decent amount of damage, I just get knocked out. That's great. You would think the Light Screen would have been enough to help me survive that. Come on. Come on. Gastrodon takes damage thanks to the Life Orb. And we're going to get that Shadow Ball firing off. Man, Gastrodon getting a KO every turn. Do I get a Disable with the Cursed Body? No, jeez. This was a very interesting way to play Gastrodon. I really appreciated it. I think the opponent did a great job of maximizing Gastrodon's offensive capabilities rather than his defensive ones. Yeah, this is tough. Yeah, I walked into this one not prepared. Great job from the opponent, honestly. Trick Room has 2 turns left. The way to do this is I have to stall out twice. So I'm going to Strength Sap the Chandelure, and I'm going to Detect. I have to Detect twice, which is fun. So this will heal up some damage. Yeah, because Chandelure probably has minimum attack. That's how I would play it for sure. Zapdos is just gonna have to deal with this. Okay, so it survives 1. Sun's over. Yeah, and I think the only thing I can do is hit with I have to hit Gastrodon with like a Hurricane or something. Gastrodon's almost knocked out. I get to protect myself with that Detect here. I think the problem here is I can't crawl this back actually. I'll speed the Gastrodon. And so I get to fire off this Nightshade. And then, depending on how much damage I do, I could knock out the Chandelure. So, honestly, though, we might win this. Yeah, Gastron's knocked out. Biggest threat's gone. Chandelure fires off Shadow Ball, hits Zapdos, so it will do good damage. I survive. Oh, that's not fun. But I survive, which is fine. Because then I fire off this Thunderbolt. Thank you for the light screen. What? Come on! Man, I needed that knockout too. Okay. Okay. Trick Room's over, but Hail's still up, so that means Chandelure's gonna get knocked out. We can win this. It's just gonna... Hydreigon is out. Okay, Hydreigon's the last Pokemon. It's gonna take all the eggs in this basket to make this happen. We're gonna have to... Basically, we have to make it to where the opponent double targets or only hits one Pokemon. So we're gonna hit this Hurricane, and we're gonna hit the Nightshade. And maybe Chandelure's gonna think about this and say, you know what, I'm gonna set up Trick Room. Okay, we fire off the Hurricane. We just get the knockout. We win. We win. Doesn't matter who you hit. Corsolas light screen! Oh! What is up, Sparky? We're getting close to bedtime. I'm 2 hours behind you, man. But you gotta clip that. We gotta clip that. Yo, somebody in the chat has to clip that. Oh my goodness. Yo, we should have lost that, but we won. Woo! Wow, we played to our outs and we found it. And Trick Room was used to our advantage. Oh my gosh. Hey, we gotta clip that. Hang on. Let me, maybe, okay, that didn't work. That's okay. Oh wait, I might be able to clip it. Oh wait, it said I did clip it. Whatever. We'll find it. I'll have to edit it. I'll edit it afterwards. Oh my goodness. Whoa. That battle was so good. And I loved how we used Trick Room to our advantage, knocking out that Gastrodon. You know, the Solar Beam came out at the right time, and then all we had to do was hit that Nightshade at the end, knocked it out. Chandelure hit that Shadow Ball. I survived one. I tried to knock it out. I didn't have enough, but the hail was going down, and then we hit that Hydreigon with the Hurricane. Super effective, thanks to the weakness policy. Wow, that just had so much going on. Okay, I'm so hyped. Chat, let me ask, I think we got Ultra Ball here, but do we go again? Do we go again? Chat, say it. Say if we need to go again, because... Yeah, you know what, Dax, I think we're on it. You know what, don't worry about what the chat says. Yes, my boy Dax, we did it. Thank you for the clip. You know what, because of the clip, we're gonna continue this. We're going far. We're gonna go, yes. I think we can get Master Rank today. We can do it. I did not think we could do it. Oh my god, that was such a great fight. Oh, I'm still recoiling from the high of that fight. That was so crazy. It was how every little turn made a difference. Wow. Man, and that knockout against Hydreigon and then knocking out the Chandelure, it was amazing. So, whew, okay, we need to calm down because we got another big fight going on with Kartana, Dragonite, Gengar, Rillaboom, Regieleki, and Togekiss. So this team is very physically based, especially with the Dragonite, Kartana, and Rillaboom. I love Corsola here. What I don't like about it is that not really Togekiss, but Gengar. Gengar's scary. I think I can deal with Gengar in different ways. Max Quake from Landorus does really well, or just Earthquake. Zapdos does decently well against it, and I like Corsola in the end game. NDD also kind of scares off Gengar, so I could use that to my advantage. But I feel like Corsola is going to be very helpful against Dragonite and Kartana if they go a little bit off the rails here. So I'm going to win in Torkoal, Landorus, and I'll win in Zapdos and Corsola in the end game. And then depending on what my opponent kind of brings out, we can shift this focus as appropriate. Okay. Woo! Man, these are some tough fights, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can make this work and we can get some good attacks going on and some good battles here. So, the opponent is going to lead off Gengar and the Togekiss. And I have Landorus and Torkoal coming out in the fight here. So, Interesting thing here is that Togekiss could probably start using like max airstreams to get some attacks off. I have the Assault Vest, which will allow me to survive one attack, but I feel like I have to be mindful of Gengar as a whole. I kind of want to hit with Earthquake just to do as much damage as possible to Gengar, and then I think I'm going to Protect for now. Let's see what happens here. This mainly is focused on dealing with Gengar, because once I deal with Gengar, yeah, Togekiss versus Zapdos. Togekiss does not like to deal with Zapdos. Okay, Gengar uses Dazzling Gleam, which is interesting. I take no damage from that, and that's actually going to be pretty weak against Landorus. And then we get the Air Slash into the Landorus slot as well, so Serene Grace is not going to be great. Yeah, Serene Grace is my thing. I'm going to go fire off a Rock Slide, and I think I'm going to fire off a Heat Wave here. I think the combined efforts will be enough to knock out. Yeah, unfortunate, I just did not make any moves that turn, which isn't great. If Landorus attacked, I think it would have been a little bit better. Hypnosis, yuck. That's not fun. Hypnosis is on that Torkoal. That's something I need to be mindful of. And we're going to get another Air Slash into the Landorus slot. Come on. Power through, power through, power through. Man, that Serene Grace hurts, man. It hurts. We don't like to see it. I'm getting these flinches. Dynamax would have been one way to have worked around it, but I think at this rate, it's just not working. I'm going to try one more Heat Wave, but yeah, we're losing Landorus way too early, which isn't great. Yeah, Landorus gets knocked out. Shoot. Okay. Togekiss gets these Air Slashes for free, man. It's ridiculous. Jeez! And a critical hit on top of that? Come on, man. Come on, what is the matter with that? That's nasty. Okay. We get the Citrus Berry off. That's helpful. I'm still asleep. I'm not doing any... I'm not moving. I'm not making any moves here. Okay. Zapdos helps deal with... I feel like what I want to do here is hit the Gengar with the max Airstream. And then from there, we can then work our way to knocking out Togekiss. So we're going to fire off this Heat Wave. Hopefully the max Airstream, we got to do something. Man, this one, we just... Landorus is not being able to pull its weight. It's been flinched. We've been put to sleep. Kind of like that Venusaur strategy you've been seeing. Like, I just not working through it. Venusaur could have also been helpful in this regard, but, yeah, I mean, Togekiss is... I mean, there's so much the opponent had. It was not pretty. Alright, so hopeful here. This will be enough to power through. I do need to be mindful of Gengar's Hypnosis, but I have honestly no way to protect myself against it, besides just running Detect. But... Okay, cool. The opponent decided just to attack, which actually is very helpful. That means I get to fire off this max Airstream for free. I don't have to worry about any cursed bodies. I get the knockout, and we do like that speed. So that will be helpful in the long run. So, hopeful here. We get to do that. Gengar is knocked out. That means Togekiss is going to probably go for the Air Slash into... Oh, it just goes for Flamethrower. I'll take that decently well. Torkoal's still asleep. Come on, Torkoal. I need you to wake up here, buddy. Yeah, I need to knock out the Togekiss, honestly. Because Corsola can deal with the physical hitters, but it's... Okay, Dragonite's out. Yeah, Corsola doesn't mind. Let's go ahead and fire off the Max Lightning into the Togekiss slot. And then hopefully a Heat Wave might be enough to burn the Dragonite. But really, it's just fire off the Max Lightning, get this knockout, and then for Dragonite... slowly whittle it down with Strength Saps and Will-O-Wisp and all that good stuff. So we are going to see the Dynamax. Please let it be Dragonite. I don't want to deal with the Dynamax Togekiss. Dragonite's going to be a lot easier to deal with. Yes! Okay. Corsola can deal with this. I'm okay with this. Because most likely Dragonite's going to replicate the Max Airstream. Zapdos can match it next turn. Okay, so we're going to get this Max Lightning. Please let it be enough to knock out. No, not enough. That hurts. Yeah, a double up might not be pretty, but if Torkoal can attack, then that might be helpful. We're going to get the Max Rockfall into the Zapdos. I'll survive one. That means I get the, yeah, I get the, Weakness Policy boosted. And if Torkoal wakes up, knocks out Togekiss, then I can protect, and I can figure out other shenanigans to how to play this around. Right. No, that's enough to knock me out. Unfortunate. Man, I get a double. Come on, man. A crit on top of that, too. Come on. Those first turns really just ate us up alive. But I guess that's what happened. We had a definitive win, and now we're getting thrashed here. Dragonite is knocked by the Sandstorm, but it won't be enough. Togekiss also has to take that. But really, Corsola is not going to be a fan of this. This actually can work if I stall out the Sandstorm turns. I can use Strength Sap on the Dragonite, so I might just do that, honestly. I'm just going to use Strength Sap on the Dragonite. Togekiss gets a lucky... I get a Fire Off Air Slash again, because I have Swimming Grace, and I'm a jerk like that. I swear, Landorus should have outsped, but whatever. Let's see what happens here. We get the max Airstream. That means I guarantee that... Togekiss gets to outspeed. It's at... Oof, that's a lot of HP. I'm a critical hit. Come on, way to rub it in me. Way to rub it in. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Air Slash, come on. Please don't flinch. Oh, come on. Oh, another crit? Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm okay with that. Because then, that lowers your attack. I got all my HP back. So, cool. With 4 HP. Thank you, Corsola. Dragonite gets buffeted by the Sandstorm. So does Togekiss. It's just a knockout, please. Come on. I'm going to have to Strength Sap one more time. Okay, we get one more max Airstream. I take that very well now. Please no flinches, and please don't connect with the Air Slash. Okay, no flinch, no flinch, no flinch. Guys, I need some hype in the chat. Come on, I needed that. Ugh, that's the worst. Okay, so here's the problem. It depends on what the opponent's last Pokemon is. I had to take literally 2 attacks at this point. Man, freaking Togekiss. I need to invest in Steel types. This is ridiculous. I need to win him back. Togekiss got way too ah, jeez. And Kartana is the last one. This would have been Corsola's endgame of choice. If I got the knockout on the max, Lightning, that would have been it, but Landorus didn't do anything. And if actually, you know what, if I focused down and used Max Rockfall and just knocked out Togekiss right then and there, I think that would have been it. Togekiss would have been gone. Then I could have dealt with Gengar in the long run. Here comes Dragon Claw. Okay. Kartana is going to be enough to knock it out. Man, this would have been the endgame Corsola wanted, but yeah, if I had that final Strength Sap, then it would have been easier. But unfortunate there. Hey, you win some, you lose some, and the opponent just dominated those first 2 turns. I was too slow to turn it around, and I should have done it. So I should have just said, you know what, click the Dynamax button, and let's go from there. So yeah, the Togekiss was Salt Vest too. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. I don't feel as bad. But yeah, if Landorus knocked out Togekiss, then it would have been a whole different game. I could have easily stalled out Dragonite, and I could have stalled out Kartana, and I would have won. Gengar with Sludge Bombs. Black Sludge is actually interesting. That would have actually been easier to deal with, yeah. Yeah, especially if it's hasty. That's terrible. Should have been timid. Because it doesn't use any attack. Yeah. Yeah, Rillaboom. Okay. Yeah. Dang, this is how we should have played it. Okay. No worries. Fortune favors the bold, and I'm saying we can get to Master Rank. I think we can do this. Look, I get it. It's past my bedtime, as Urban Sparky said. But I am so close. We're so close to getting it, guys. We can do it. We can make it happen. We can do this. We're this close to winning. Alright. Spectrier is back in the fray. It's a Pokemon I haven't seen in a while. We got a lot of Ghost and Dark types. Corso's not going to have fun. Indeedee also doesn't have fun. And it is going to be hard to bring him out. I could bring Torkoal and Venusaur out early on. Venusaur outspeeds everything. Vinelash could be helpful. Torkoal will also spread a lot of damage. Venusaur can also fire off Max Flare into the Metagross slot. I think the main problem though is Zapdos leads off, which I would, if I was my opponent, I would lead Zapdos. Landorus also helps kind of defer that a little bit, so I could bring in Landorus. Yeah, it's a tricky one, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in the Venusaur Torkoal lead. Whatever, let's see what happens. Because if anything, I could put Zapdos to sleep. Zapdos is not safe to go rolls when Zapdos goes to sleep. It would mean that Hatterene will most likely use Trick Room, but then Torkoal doesn't mind it, and he'll probably be like, okay, I'll work with the Trick Room, right? And so I can put it to sleep and let Torkoal be the main attacker here. So let's see what happens. So we actually see Grimmsnarl and Spectrier. Grimmsnarl could use Fake Out, but I think the challenge is, if I'm Grimmsnarl, who do I Fake Out? Right, so here's a tricky thing. Grimmsnarl could either Fake Out, or it would risk getting attacked. So I'm going to go ahead and use Heat Wave. I'm going to try to hit both of these Pokemon. So I'm going to use Heat Wave, and I'm going to use Sleep Powder. Sleep Powder allows me to... Okay, so yeah, Sleep Powder allows me to call out the Light Screen play. And I can put Spectrier to sleep. Perfect. Oh, it goes to sleep. No nasty plots. Get out of here with that. Spectrier slides to sleep, and I'm going to keep on firing off these Heat Waves to try to do as much damage as possible. Perfect. Okay. Now the question is, Weather Ball can hit for a Fire type attack, which I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to fire off another Heat Wave into both of them. Grimmsnarl could probably use Spirit Breaks too, but I think at this point, it's not as big of a deal. Okay, so we're going to do the Thunder Wave. So I'm okay with us kind of slowing it down a clip and not worrying too much here. Spectrier is still fast asleep. We'll take that. We get to fire off the Weather Ball, so we're actually going to knock out the Spectrier early, which would be really nice. And then we're going to fire off this Heat Wave one more time. Ooh, that critical hit on Grimmsnarl! We love to see it. Grimmsnarl and Spectrier are knocked out. This actually helps out a lot. Woo! Okay, so that means Reflect isn't open, meaning that Landorus could come in. This also means that Zapdos is going to have a lot more free range in the endgame. So Metagross is coming out. Metagross... okay, and then we have Zapdos. Okay. I think what I want to do here is I want to target into the Metagross would be an interesting play. Kind of want to Sleep Powder it, actually. And I think what I want to do is protect this turn. Okay, so the opponent is going to Dynamax, most likely the Zapdos. Do I bring my own Zapdos to Dynamax, or do I bring Metagross? That's a good question. So they Dynamax their Metagross. So that means I can outspeed with Max Airstreams. We can figure things out like that too. Yeah, because then I can just Earthquake, yeah. So. Okay, so I protect myself. Zapdos goes for Hurricane. I will survive with 1 HP. Totally fine. Do I get the Sleep Powder off before I get knocked out? Zapdos reveals a Life Orb. I get to fire off the Sleep Powder. Wow, this is a great turn. And Metagross is fast asleep, so we like to see it. Venusaur can fire off a Weather Ball into Zapdos. I think I'm going to switch out Torkoal for Landorus to kind of get the drop on attacking. Yeah, because Landorus can actually use Max Rockfall on the Zapdos to deal with it in the long run. Zapdos is going to use Heat Wave. That actually is going to do a lot to Landorus. Venusaur survives it. Alright, Venusaur will get knocked out naturally, but Landorus, thanks to the Life Orb, is going to be able to survive it. Yeah, I feel like I can bring in Zapdos. And now the question is, do I max Airstream or do I max Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna max Airstream the Metagross slot, and then I'm gonna Rock Slide both of them. Because that should be enough to knock out Zapdos, and I might outspeed afterwards, yeah. Then after Metagross is done Dynamaxing, then we can double target and use Earthquake and Max Spoiler to end the game. So, Sleep was used against me the last battle, and I used it against the opponent in this battle. It's very dangerous, for sure. Man, if you imagine a Spore user that was super fast. Oh, wait, I got an idea. Prankster, I don't think any Scroll Stop current users, except for Sableye, can do that. Okay, so Zapdos fires off Hurricane, that's fair. I will actually not be able to survive that, unfortunately, but the max Airstream will allow me to outspeed at least once. So, not going to do too much damage here, but it's mainly for that speed boost. I am glad I decided to Dynamax Zapdos. Metagross is still fast asleep, which is great. Sunlight's over, but I reactivate it with Torkoal. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it where Zapdos... I don't want to keep Metagross around for too long. The opponent literally had no use of Dynamax. Man, I would imagine they would be frustrated. But yeah, I think I'm going to Max Flare the Metagross, and I'm going to use Burning Jealousy on it as well. So we're going to Max Flare it, and then I'm going to Burning Jealousy to get the burn just in case it doesn't get... if it wakes up or anything. Alright, so we get the Max Flare off. This is actually going to do a lot of damage. Probably just a one-hit KO. Yeah, I'm done. Okay. And Zapdos fires off a Hurricane, gets a hit on it, but Torkoal survives with 4 HP, which is awesome. And that means that Torkoal gets this free attack with the Sun. Here we get that Burning Jealousy. Just for accuracy's sake, so I'm glad we went with that. Yeah, and Zapdos can't win. The only way it could is if it potentially protects this turn. But, yeah. The sleeps were dangerous, and we get to fire off this final Max Flare. Boom, an interruption. Zapdos is knocked out. Let's go! Heck yeah! Yo, we feeling it. Yo, that was a great match, but... yeah, Eric fell to the same thing that I fell victim to. Sleep is so powerful, and in fact, I think I'm going to have to use it more often. It's just, I mean, he didn't wake up at all. Spectrier just got knocked out. Yeah, Grimmsnarl was, had the light screen, had the reflect, but honestly, the light screen, I was able to power through it. The Sun boost was really strong. Spectrier couldn't do anything. I was expecting Spectrier, actually, to have used Nasty Plot. But yeah, was dealing with it earlier was nice. Urshifu would have actually been really scary, but yeah, we didn't have to deal with it. Zapdos was kind of a big threat. And then Metagross is a very common. I have honestly, the weakness policy Metagross type boost is pretty common. So it's nice to just be like, I don't really care about it. And we got to deal with it really well. Hatterene would have been actually pretty scary, especially Magic Bounce. Yeah, I think Hatterene actually would have been the better choice here. Setting up Grimmsnarl with Light Screen, and then Hatterene could set up Trick Room. It doesn't actually know Trick Room. Who knows Trick Room? There is no Trick Room. Interesting. That actually would have been a really scary fight, because I would have anticipated it to know Trick Room, and because of that, I would have been like, how do I maneuver around that? So, I think that could have been one way the opponent could have played it. I'm hopeful I can try to get this Master Rank, but we gotta be mindful. I do gotta go to sleep, as Sparky said. Okay. Oh, Talonflame's interesting. And Galarian Zapdos. That's the Pokemon you don't see often. I feel like because of Galarian Zapdos and how well it can do against the rest of my team, if I don't prep for it, normal Landorus is not great. Yeah, and honestly, besides the movement, it doesn't really help out much. So, and Regieleki is another example. I could try Venusaur or Torkoal. Actually, I do like Indeedee a lot. Indeedee could help hit with, like, hit the Expanding Forces. I think the one thing I have to be mindful of is the Colossal lead. So if the Colossal lead comes up, how do I deal with Colossal? And that's probably why Landorus actually would be helpful here. Venusaur can't do anything. Torkoal can't do anything. Zapdos can't do anything. Oh, dang. I don't have a good answer for Colossal lead if... Because the answer would have been... Venusaur, right? Venusaur would, yeah, it is really bulky. The Galarian Zapdos is the tricky part here. But if Galarian Zapdos leads with Colossal... Tailwind could come up from... Shoot, there's so many factors here. Okay. We'll try Landorus. We'll try Zapdos because I can't. And then we'll try Torkoal. It's very dangerous what we're about to do here. But I think what we need to be mindful of is if the opponent leads Colossal, I have to be ready for it. And I can try the whole NDD Landorus lead again to deal with that. If they bring in Galarian Zapdos, then what we could do here is that Zapdos becomes a Dino. Oh, even Landorus could still do it. Okay, I figured as much, and I needed a prep for this. So, I am glad I decided to do this. Okay, so Landorus is out. Zapdos exerts his pressure. Landorus uses Intimidate. Doesn't really matter. Now we have to assume, is the opponent going to try to switch and or use Colossal to his full advantage? And if the opponent does that, then I need to knock it out now. So I'm going to try Max Quake on it, and then hopeful that NDD can at least take one of these Vocalists. It's tough because, like, this team has a very particular mode that's easy to activate, and the structure of being able to stop it isn't as apparent. There is one way, but again, it's more of like, you have to go out of your way to do it, right? So for instance, an easy way is like Grimmsnarl and a priority user, you would trick the, actually not even Grimmsnarl, well, you don't even need priority. You could just use Grimmsnarl with the eject button, trick the eject button, and tricking the eject button allows you to, as soon as it hits with the Surf, Colossal switches out. It's helpful, but the problem here is that, again, you have to dedicate the Grimmsnarl to do that. And Grimmsnarl can do a lot of things. So, it might not be a bad thing if Colossal teams become even more prevalent. I would imagine a lot of this is becoming leftover from the most recent series with a lot of the legendaries, where Colossal was pretty big. But luckily here, we will get the knockout on Colossal to stop it from rampaging in the long run. But I am just worried about... okay, so we get the Surf. It doesn't do too much on anyone. We know this. The activation of the Steam Engine. And the activation of the weakness policy. Like, all of this is... We know this, right? It's a known story. Who's the Vocalist going on? If it goes on the Entity, maybe we can survive. If it goes on Landorus... Oh, we survived naturally. Okay, thanks to the Dynamax and the Assault Vest. So, I will take that. And cool. We got rid of a big threat early. And we got to keep our team. That was better than the last time this happened. I will say that. Most likely, though, with the special defense boost, that's nice against Dragapult. But the problem with Dragapult is that it's probably going to be like Breaking Swipe and Will-O-Wisp and all that good stuff. So, the problem here is that Landorus itself isn't going to be exerting as much pressure. And I don't think I need it to do much else afterwards. But the speed boost actually would be helpful with Indeedee. So I might try to be a little bit cheeky with that. Okay, so Regieleki is going to be sent out. Yeah, I kind of want to knock it out now. And then I'm going to use Expanding Force on both of them. Dragapult can't hit with Dark... yeah, it can try Will-O-Wisp, but I think the double target will be enough to knock out Regieleki. Plus, I have +2 special defense on Indeedee, and so, dang, it still took a lot of damage. Okay, so Indeedee, okay, the Volt Switch came out, Talonflame could come out. Damn, that's not good. Okay, Will-O-Wisp comes out. I unfortunately waste a turn because of this, because Max Quake falls into the Talonflame slot. But luckily, with the Expanding Force, I still get some... I get to still make some headway here. So it does a lot. Okay. We can get this KO. I think... Oh, geez, Vocalith is just adding so much damage, though. Okay, here's how we're going to play this. Max Airstream the Dragapult, protect the Indeedee this turn. Because then I can outspeed and try to use the Expanding Force threat. Breaking Swipe misses. Indeedee is going to protect itself here. Landorus takes a decent amount of damage. What does Talonflame do? Does it set up Tailwind? Brave Bird into the Indeedee slot. Yes, that means we get to fire off this Max Airstream. Probably not enough to knock out, but it will do some damage. Cool. Okay. Indeedee is probably still going to be underspeeding Talonflame and Dragapult. Yeah, so Vocalith is enough to knock out, unfortunately. But this does introduce a very interesting speed dynamic. Okay, Indeedee is going to be knocked out next turn. Zapdos can clean up the game. I need Torkoal to be at full health when it fights Regieleki. Yeah, that's a good call. Would Zapdos' Thunder Heat Wave be enough to knock out either of them? Dragapult's going to be the biggest threat. I kind of need the accuracy there. I'm going to use Thunderbolt, and then here I'm going to use Expanding Force. Yeah, this is tough. Okay, so it sets up Light Screen. Talonflame goes for the Brave Bird into the Indeedee slot. Oh, the Zapdos slot. Okay, that actually will be helpful. I should be able to get the pick. I could pick up the double knockout here. Dragapult's out. Talonflame's out. Crit on the Dragapult. That's nice. So it really boils down to, can Zapdos and Torkoal stave off Regieleki? Which, honestly, I feel like it can. That can work. Okay, Indeedee's knocked out. Vocalist should be over, and so it's basically Torkoal and Zapdos versus Regieleki. We'll just keep on firing off those Heat Waves, and hopefully we can make things work. Regieleki has to target... I think I get 2 chances to make this happen. Sun's out, so that's... that gives me an attack on, a boost on my Fire-type attacks. Okay, here's a big one. Vocalist's over. Psychic Terrain's going to end soon. That's not a big deal. Fire off the Heat Wave. Fire off another Heat Wave. And hopefully between these 2 attacks, that'll be enough to knock out Regieleki. Regieleki goes for the Electro Ball. Ooh, that's going to do a lot on Torkoal. That's just a clean knockout. Oh, that's not great. And Zapdos goes for a Heat Wave. Not enough. Do I get a burn, though? I don't get a burn. The Electro Ball hurt. If I protected that turn, I think I would have been a lot better. I think Regieleki wins this, yeah. Yeah, Electro Ball is way too powerful. Dang. Yeah, I figured Thunderbolt would have been it, and it would have gone after Zapdos, but... yeah, that would have been tough. I think I should have protected that turn with Torkoal. I'm trying to think. Why did I... It was really that I thought the opponent thought Zapdos was a threat. But the opponent probably looked at that and said Zapdos is at so low HP that it wouldn't have been a big deal. So if I did that and then I hit the Heat Wave, then I would have won. Alright, we'll fight one more time. Dang it. I don't think we're going to get to Master Rank today. I got to be mindful. It's close to 10 o'clock my time. But, yeah, these have been good fights. A couple wins. Oh, a lot of losses, supposed to be real. But we got some really good wins up in there. And so... I really do appreciate you guys sticking around. There was a heck of a lot of fun. I mean, it just brings me back. It's always fun to play online. But, man, that was a tough one. Okay, this one's good. Togekiss is back. We gotta deal with We gotta find better ways to deal with Togekiss. Ugh, I hate this thing. I like using it. I hate dealing with it on my own. You know what I'm saying? But Diggersby is interesting, especially because it has Quick Attack. It has that huge power, so that will be an interesting Pokemon to fight against. Corsola does decently well against it. Thunderistic, Corsola can do well too. I think what I want to do here is not bring in Landorus immediately. Zapdos could be helpful. I think Zapdos Torkoal, actually. That also helps deal with Ferrothorn and scares it off. I don't need Venusaur as much. I could use Indeedee if I'm worried about a fake out, and then I can use Torkoal at the end of it. Yeah, so let's go that way. That can also help turn off Tapu Fini's Misty Terrain, which in the end game, I'm going to need to do so. Main thing here is I think double targeting or dealing with the Ferrothorn early is going to be so helpful. So we got to figure out how to deal with that. Really put the pressure on Ferrothorn. But yeah, Zapdos will outspeed Togekiss naturally, and we should be starting to hit it. I don't want to deal with no Air Slash shenanigans and some dumb calls like that. Excuse me. So let's see what we can do here. Diggersby will be interesting. If Diggersby comes out early, we'll just have to figure out how to manipulate the board to make it work. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Diggersby early. Okay, so yeah, great call out there. Diggersby is trying to help mitigate any shenanigans of Intimidate, while Torkoal and Zapdos are ready to join the fray here. Torkoal will most likely have to deal with something like an Rock Slide or an Earthquake. Probably, oh, Disquake. I can see that happening. So I think what I want to do here is protect Torkoal for now. And I think I'm going to go fire off a Max Flare into the... Wait, because it's double. Stab is 1.5, that's 2. Yeah, we'll do it in the Thunder slot. Diggersby might actually switch out. Nope, they all commit to staying. Okay. Okay, the opponent is going to Dynamax as well. I would imagine it's going to be Thundurus that Dynamaxes. If it's Diggersby, that will be an interesting way to play it. It is actually Diggersby, so they're going after Zapdos. If I survive one, that will actually make it a little bit easier to deal with. But yeah, that's a smart way to play it. Diggersby and Thundurus helps deal with the Intimidate. We are going to protect ourselves, so if it was a Max Quake, then I'll be able to survive at least one of those. Impulse. Ooh, so this Thundurus actually... Oh, that's cheeky. That's cheeky. This Thundurus actually is Prankster. And then we're going to get the Max Strike. Oof. Okay. Okay. Because of that, I think I will... Well, the opponent revealed a lot of information early on. So I'll use that to my advantage. I'll switch out Torkoal. We'll fire off a Max Flare. Nah, I feel like a Max Airstream. Let's start getting that speed back up. Okay, so we take the Max Quake. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. And Diggersby's really fast here. Oi! Yeah, this is... I don't think I have the brain power to think further. I can't do it. I can't do it. I think I'm good. I'll let the opponent... Nah, I don't want to, like, be cheap, though. I'll play it to the fullest. And if I lose, I lose. We'll use Strength Staff. And, I will cut my Dynamax early. Yeah, also, it's a very cheeky play. I will copy this team. So, I'm gonna wait till this is over. Because that actually is kind of a cool way to... Oh, come on, that's cold. That's cold. And that means a free Max Quake gets to fire off into the Corsola slot, right? Yeah. Yeah, the opponent did a good job of covering all their bases. But not necessarily everything. We can still win this, it's just going to be a little bit different. Like, Corsola took way too much damage, but if we turn off Thunderous's Prankster ability, I think that's going to help deal with things in the long run. So, I mean, hey, yeah. You know what? Thank you, Daxman. You know what? We're going to try to eke out the win condition here. I think we can eke out the win condition. So, the main thing here is that Thunderous works really well because it can use those Prankster abilities, the Prankster attacks. Zapdos... okay, so it's kind of tricky because technically Zapdos won't be immune to them because it's flying. I could use Heat Wave. And then Torkoal... You know what? I don't think it could survive 2 attacks. So I'm going to use Heat Wave. I'm going to just double up the Heat Wave. Let's do it. Okay, so we get the Eerie Impulse. There's no way to protect against that one. If I survive 1... Okay, so... Oh, come on! Diggersby misses? I need Diggersby to at least get hit by it. And, of course, I activate the stupid Citrus Berry. Man, if Diggersby got hit, at least I could have gotten a burn. Earthquake comes out, and that's just going to do so much damage to Torkoal. That's enough for a knockout. We literally can't... I can't think of a way to do it. Man, that was my out. I can't believe it. I couldn't even have hit a Heat Wave. Man, come on. Alright, you know what? But we will lose with dignity. We ain't gonna run away. So, oi, this was a tough one. I really do respect the opponent's lead. I thought that was really cool. It kind of, like, turns, like... It turns your head on its heels of like, hey, you can't actually lead with the Landorus, but actually Landorus would have been the best lead here, just because of the metagame. It's the metagame. This person called out the trends of the metagame, essentially. So, the opponent withdraws his Thunderous, realizing, hey, I can... Oh, wow. Of course. Right. Tapu Fini is a thing. And Misty Terrain shuts down... This person's just rubbing it in. They're like, you know what, you lost. I'm really just want you to feel it. So we fire off this Heat Wave. It's not going to do anything. Can I at least get a burn, please? No. Oh, I get a Giga Impact. Yeah, because... Yeah, that's great. This person's really just rubbing it in. Expanding Force comes out, but there's no way I can make the Expanding Force actually good. I got a crit. Diggersby's gonna knock me out next turn. Like, it doesn't matter. But we ain't gonna... We're gonna let this play out to the fullest. If the opponent does... I'm gonna get so ticked if they're like, I'm gonna set up Calm Mind, and it's like, you won! Just please knock me out. Right? Like, I get Diggersby's gotta stay in. Right? Come on, you did not need to set up Calm Mind. You won. You guys see this? You guys see this? His opponent's just flailing. Just playing with me. Like a little cat toy or something. They're just dangling. And playing with their food, essentially. Alright, please, Diggersby, just knock me out. I'm good. I'm good. Leave me alone. I used you in early X and Y. You were fun. But you're now a jerk. Not as bad as Greedent. Greedent's still my least favorite Pokemon. But you are definitely on that list. Huge Power is pretty good. Though, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. I hate the fact that we have to end on a loss. But guys, I think it's about time to hit the hay. Overall, though, man, that win when we got to Ultra Ball was so dope. And I do appreciate y'all sticking around. I think we did a good job overall. It happens, you know, sometimes you don't play as well. But yeah, I mean, I had fun. I think that's the main thing. Did I have fun? Yeah. Did I learn a lot? Yeah. Do I think that sometimes that Pokemon has, like, the dumbest things that happen? Yes. And I stand by that. But also, I got away with some cheeky things too, like a lot of sleep and things like that. Anyways, we'll go ahead and kick it over to full screen. Folks, thank you so much again for tuning in. It was an absolute blast, and I hope you guys had an amazing time too here on Game of Smiles. Tomorrow, we got Daxman45 streaming live. You as well, Daxman. We got him streaming live. He's playing the Kingdom Hearts series for the first time. Dax, I promise I ain't going to spoil anything, but I will say this. Hearts 1, great. Chain of Memory, you can pretty much skip, but try it out anyways. Hearts 2 has the longest intro in all time. It's like a 3-hour tutorial. Try to skip it if you can, and then get to the good stuff. It's okay, we don't care. And then Birth by Sleep is amazing too. All great games. I hope you have an amazing time on the stream tomorrow. And y'all check them out. Okay? Daxman45, you see him on the chat. Alright. Y'all take it easy. Have a great evening. And make sure that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take it easy, and thanks again for tuning in.